Excellent vision of a soft contact lens. The Bausch & Lomb Extended Wear Soft Contact Lens at Group Contact Lens Plan in Latham. See Group Contact for other specialty lenses, quality eyewear with no compromise in value. So take good care of your eyes at Group Contact Lens Plan, 1202 Troy Schenectady Road in the Plaza 7 office building in Latham.
On the pregame show today is 18-year-old Dwight Gooden. This is not the first time Dwight has been to Shea Stadium this year. Earlier in the season, when the year's was over and they had all the numbers up, it was such a marvelous year for Dwight. A record of 21-5, 325 strikeouts. Dwight, congratulations.
Thank you a lot. This year, I just put everything together and I got off to a slow start and got everything right, and things came around for me.
They tell me that you have amazing control of your curveball for an 18-year-old pitcher. How'd you get such good control of your curveball?
Well, coming up through Little League, I had a pretty good high school coach, and he helped me with my curveball, throwing through tires on up and working with that. And he told me once I get my off-speed pitches off of strikes, that'll make my fastball just that much effective.
Are you working with anything more than the fastball and the curve at the moment?
Well, I got a changeup to develop. I'm trying to throw that for strikes more because they said that'll help my fastball. So
it sure will. Is that a straight change off your fastball?
Yes, great change.
So that's awfully good to have 3 pitches that you can throw for strikes at the age of 18. Now, when the Lynchburg Mets season was over in the Carolina League, Dwight was promoted to Tidewater. And at the time, Tidewater was in the playoffs in the International League. And, of course, that's the highest level of minor league baseball. And the first team you faced was a veteran ball club, the Columbus Clippers. Probably with as many veterans as any team in minor league baseball, guys who've been in the big leagues before. How'd you feel when you walked out on the mound to pitch against Columbus?
Well, I went out there, I was trying to be relaxed, but, the first couple innings I was a little nervous. But once I got everything together, I thought I could pitch in that league, and I just wanted to do my job. And I just made a couple of key mistakes, and they took advantage of, but that helped me, my next 2 outings.
The next outing in the playoffs was against the Richmond Braves. You pitched a real good ball game and won that game.
Yeah, I went out with more confidence, and I just, stayed within myself, and, I didn't want to do nothing I wasn't capable of, and just went out and did a good job.
Tidewater was on the way to becoming kings of AAA baseball. This was at the AAA World Series in Louisville, Kentucky. Your third AAA start was against the Denver Bears. Tell me about that one.
Well, that game was like more excited. I was really pumped and ready to go, and the main thing was just keep our team in the game. It was a close game, and I just knew if I could hold them, we was going to get some runs.
Dwight Gooden, you pitched a lot of innings this year. Now it's time to go home and relax. Do you have any plans for the winter?
I'm just going to go home right now. I ain't doing anything, but I'm going to start working at the radio station, just helping out DJs.
Oh, that'll be fun for you, won't it?
Yeah, I like getting into stuff like that.
What station will it be? In Tampa?
Yeah, WTMP.
That's an excellent idea. It'll keep you active, and you'll be doing something that you like to do. Let's learn more about you. Do you come from a large family?
Well, I have 3 brothers and 2 sisters. They're all married, and I'm the baby of the family, and I'm still living at home.
And they're not living in Florida. They're in California.
Well, I have 3 brothers living in California, in Long Beach, but my 2 sisters live right in the area.
Oh, that's good. You have family right there in the area then.
That's right.
Going to try to go to California and see the brothers?
Yeah, me and my sister was talking about we're going to try to get out there this Christmas, to see everything. Just get a view of it. I've never been up in California.
You must be looking forward already to next year in baseball after having such a good year.
Yeah, after a good year, you want to get right back into it, and continue and just keep up the good work.
Because I know the Mets probably have it in mind that since you pitched obviously in the playoffs at the AAA level and pitched well, I guess you must feel that you can handle it but after getting off to a good start up there.
Yeah, I want to get a shot at AAA, show them I can play there, and wherever they send me next year, I'll be ready to go.
Sam Perlazzo was your manager with the Lynchburg Mets this year. Outstanding young guy. You had to put a smile on his face the way you were pitching.
Yes, Sam, I wanted to be good this year because I wasn't Little Falls. He called me up to help them. There was an independent race, but I had a little tendonitis in my arm. I had to go home early, so he was the manager this year, and I was with Lynchburg. I want to produce and, make up for that year I missed.
Lynchburg had such a good year, they won the pennant going away. Tell me about Lenny Dykstra, the young outfielder who stole over 100 bases.
Lenny Dykstra, he's awesome on the field and off. He's, I said, a good team leader. That's the best man we had. He's going to lead off, and you want somebody to get on base and lead off field, and he just had an outstanding year.
Did he draw a lot of walks?
Yeah, well, he got a lot of walks, and he was a good hitter. Like, he got in hit anytime he wanted. He could hit with power, too.
That's what you really need to be successful. You need that catalyst for your ball club. Mookie is the catalyst of the New York Mets. There are some fine young players in the New York Mets organization. Lenny Dykstra, one of the award winners, and, of course, you're enjoying being here in New York, I'm sure, with the other Doubleday Award winners.
Yeah, it's an honor to be here accepting this award, and hopefully one day I can be ready to play here.
What do you guys got planned for tonight, anything?
Nothing in particular.
Nothing in particular? I hope you get to see baseball here today. The weatherman does say things are going to get better, and he says tomorrow that we'll have some sunshine. Will you be here to see the game tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow, you know, my flight's leaving, I think 10:30 in the morning, I'm not sure.
Well, maybe we'll see you during the winter in Tampa, Florida. Of course, the Mets train nearby St. Petersburg, Florida. There's always something going on at the Payson Complex over there. So many ball players live in that area.
Yes, a lot of players from the area. You know, I was amazed of how many players out the area playing with the Mets organization.
You can show up around that Payson Complex around the 1st of February. There's no telling who you might find around there. There's so many major leaguers, players, and coaches who live in the area. Dwight Gooden, congratulations on a marvelous year, and continue along. We look forward to seeing you at Shea Stadium in New York.
Okay, thank you a lot.
Our guest on the pregame show, 18-year-old Dwight Gooden. Dwight, when did you turn 19?
November the 16th.
November the 16th. Imagine that. 18 years of age, a 21-5 record, 325 strikeouts. Just the beginning, but he's a bound and determined young man. Back with a final word on the pregame show in just one moment. First, though, this message.
With fall on the way, it means cooler nights, shorter days, and harder starts for your car. The Battery Mart at 650 River Street in Troy has the answer. They're loaded with money-saving discount prices on hundreds of auto parts. Save on starters, alternators, clutches, fuel pumps, and, of course, batteries. Stock up now on antifreeze at only $2.99 per gallon or 24 quarts of prize Penn 10W40 motor oil at an incredible $20.95. That's 24 quarts for $20.95. Don't miss the fantastic sale prices at the Battery Mart, your complete discount auto parts center, 650 River Street in Troy, just a couple of blocks north of the Collar City Bridge. Open 7 days a week. For a price quote, call 273-7779. That's 273-7779. The Battery Mart. Batteries and much, much more.
Now this is Bob Murphy saying stand by for New York Mets baseball.
As a business professional here in Albany, my success is based on how well I can seize opportunity. And in order to succeed, I spend a great deal of time traveling throughout the Northeast. That's why I appreciate the services provided by our own Mall Airways. Based right here in Albany, Mall Airways is committed to serving the needs of business people in the Capital District. When I fly west to Rochester and Syracuse, I can count on Mall Airways to offer the most flights. And as the bigger airlines adjust their schedules to suit their needs, my friends at Mall seem to make their schedule more convenient for me. And now that I have clients in Syracuse, I join the Mall Airways Frequent Flyer program. When I fly 7 times between Syracuse and Albany, I can earn a free flight between the cities or $40 in cash. And finally, if it wasn't for Mall Airways' convenient non-stops to the Westchester County Airport, I would never have been able to make so many client contacts in White Plains, Rockland County, Bridgeport, Stamford, or Greenwich. Thank you, Mall Airways, for understanding the needs of business people in the Capital District.
New York Mets baseball is brought to you by Getty Unleaded Plus. The proof is at the pump. By Anheuser-Busch St. Louis, brewers of Michelob. Some things speak for themselves. By TWA with the big roomy Ambassador Class business section, now available on every wide body everywhere TWA flies. By Nissan, builders of high-mileage, high-quality cars and trucks for 50 years, available at your Datsun dealer. By Flying Tigers Air Cargo. It's on time or it's on us. By MCI, the nation's long-distance phone company. You haven't been talking too much, just spending too much. By Channel Home Centers, think Channel. You'll find what you need, and you'll find it for less. By your 5 Pearl and New Jersey Buick dealers. If you price a Buick, you'll buy a Buick. By Belmont Park, home of the Jockey Club Gold Cup, Saturday, October 15th, and the New York Mets. Hi, everybody. Bob Murphy with Steve Lamar from Shea Stadium in New York. Fan Appreciation Day at Shea Stadium. The fans will appreciate perhaps the baseball. They do not appreciate the weather at the moment. It has rained hard for the last couple of hours, but now the rain has stopped. The ground crew working very swiftly. They have removed the field cover. The game will be just a few minutes late getting underway. As you may or may not know by now, it is all over in the National League West. Last night, the Dodgers began play with a magic number of 1. The Dodgers won. Fernando Valenzuela won his 15th game. The Atlanta Braves lost, so it is all over. We know the playoff teams now. The Phillies will be playing the Dodgers on Tuesday night at Dodger Stadium. The American League playoffs will open in Baltimore with an afternoon game on Wednesday. The Chicago White Sox and the Baltimore Orioles. The pitchers in the first game of the doubleheader today here at Shea Stadium. Tom Seaver, making his last start of the year, takes the mound for New York. Bill Gullickson will be on the mound for Montreal, going for his 18th win. By the way, John Denny of the Phillies won his 19th last night. He looks like the #1 candidate for this year's Cy Young Award in the National League. We'll be back with the lineups and batting orders in just a moment. First, though, this message.
Getting you on the road the way you want to go, it's Northway Buick Toyota. Choice? Whether you prefer the styling of a Buick, the fuel efficiency of a Toyota, or the economy of a used car, Northway has them all to buy or lease. Service? Northway has 2 separate service departments for Buick and Toyota. And price? Well, if you don't have a Northway sticker on the back of your car, you can bet you paid too much. For choice, service, and price, it's Northway Buick Toyota, Route 9, 1/4 mile south of the Latham Circle.
At Sawyer Sporting Goods in Clifton Park, we're footing the bill so you'll save more. Back to school can be enjoyable when you save on quality footwear at Sawyer's. Buy children's shoes such as Nike Scouts, regularly $19, now only $15. Or the traditional high canvas shoe by Nike is only $15. For the football and soccer athlete, there's the popular Nike Turf King for $14. You'll never save more on Nike footwear than now. At Sawyer Sporting Goods, exit 9 off the Northway on Route 146 in Clifton Park.
This is Bill Gralty, News Radio 1460. If you're on the move, we're on the move with you. Each morning, I bring you the news you need when you need it. Give us 11 minutes, we give you your world. News Radio's Richard Wolf has his eye on capital area traffic with exclusive air traffic patrol reports. And Pat Pagano in the Weather Center updates you on our weather. On the go, stay with us at News Radio 1460.
The best of the Expos were rained out. So a doubleheader this afternoon, and Steve Lamar, up until about 30 minutes ago, it looked like we'd be starting much later in the day.
Well, you're right. It was raining hard here at Shea Stadium 30 to 60 minutes ago, but although the skies have not cleared, it has stopped raining, and the grounds crew is getting the field in shape to start the doubleheader. And the lineups for the first game of the doubleheader. Bill Verdon's Montreal Expos will go with Tim Raines as the leadoff man in left field. Hitting second and playing at second base, Brian Little. Batting third, Andre Dawson in center field. Hitting fourth and playing at first base will be Mike Stenhouse. Batting fifth, the right fielder, Terry Francona. Batting sixth for the Expos, catcher Gary Carter. Batting seventh and playing at third base, Tim Wallach. Hitting eighth, the shortstop, Angel Salazar. And batting ninth and pitching, Bill Gullickson. Gullickson really on a roll. He has won 6 in a row and 10 of his last 11 decisions. He is a 17-game winner in 1983. He has lost 11. For the New York Mets, the leadoff man is the center fielder, Mookie Wilson. Batting second and playing at third base, Hubie Brooks. Batting third and in right field, Darryl Strawberry. George Foster will hit fourth and play in left field. Batting fifth at first base, Gary Racich. Bob Baylor will play at shortstop and bat 6th. Brian Giles hits 7th and plays at second base. Batting 8th, the catcher, Junior Ortiz. And batting 9th, the pitcher, Tom Seaver. Seaver, making his final start of the season, has won 9, and he has lost 14. He has pitched 230 innings this year. That's the most for Seaver in the last 5 seasons. Now on the scoreboard, in the National League today, Chicago will play at St. Louis, as rookie Don Schulze will go for Charlie Fox and the Cubs, and Bob Porsche, coming off a no-hitter, will go for the Cardinals. Porsche has won 9, and he has lost 12. Cincinnati is at Houston with Frank Pastore going for the Reds, and Mike Madden doing the pitching for the Houston Astros. San Francisco will be in Los Angeles. The Dodgers have already wrapped it up in the Western Division, as the Braves lost in San Diego last night 3-2 to the Padres, and then the Dodgers beat the Giants 4-3. The Dodgers today will pitch Bert Hooton against the Giants, and left-hander Mark Davis will go for Frank Robinson. Davis is 5-4. Hooton has won 9 and lost 7. Pittsburgh plays at Philadelphia against the Eastern Division champion Phillies. Jose De Leon will do the pitching for the Pirates. He has won 7, and he has lost 3. And Kevin Gross will be the pitcher for Philadelphia. He is 4-6. And the Atlanta Braves have a night game scheduled tonight in San Diego. Len Barker 1-3 for the Braves. Tim Lawler with a record of 7-12 will do the pitching for the San Diego Padres. In the American League, the schedule has the Yankees at Baltimore with Bob Shirley 5-8 for New York, and Scott McGregor with a record of 18-7 going for the Eastern Division champion Baltimore Orioles. Milwaukee plays at Detroit today. Jamie Kokenauer will go for the Brewers, and 20-game winner Jack Morris will pitch for Detroit today. Minnesota will be at Toronto. Pettibone will pitch for the Twins. He's 0-3. Doyle Alexander 6-8 for the Blue Jays. Cleveland plays at Boston. Larry Sorensen does the pitching for the Indians. He's 11-11. And Dennis Oil Can Boyd will pitch for the Red Sox. He has a record of 4-7. Kansas City sends Paul Splittorff at Oakland this afternoon. Steve McCaddy will pitch for the A's. That's the first game of a doubleheader. In the second game, Danny Jackson scheduled to pitch for the Royals against Gorman Heimmuller. California will be at Texas tonight. Jeff Zahn will look for his 10th win of the year for the Angels. He'll be opposed by 15-game winner Charlie Huff of the Rangers. And Chicago plays at Seattle tonight. Floyd Bannister, 15-10 for the Western Division champion White Sox. Rookie Matt Young will do the pitching for the Mariners. He has won 11 while losing 14.
So, Steve Lamar, we now know who goes into the playoffs. Baseball has just about achieved parity. None of the 4 teams in the playoffs a year ago are back this year. They are all gone. We have 4 new divisional champions. The Dodgers will host the Phillies Tuesday night at Dodger Stadium. How do you see that one?
That is an interesting matchup, isn't it? Because the Dodgers dominated the Phillies during the season series. They won 11 out of 12. And yet, as we approach the end of the season, what is the hot team in the National League? It's the Phillies. They had a great September. There's 2 ways of looking at it. The Dodgers dominated the Phillies during the season, and yet the Phillies are the hot team right now. I would hate to bet against that Dodger pitching. That's my gut feeling.
Well, you hate to, but it's interesting. The Dodger pitching staff has the lowest ERA of any staff of the National League, but second best, the Philadelphia Phillies. The Phillies have a very hot pitcher in John Denny. He'll probably open the series, I would imagine. The Dodgers, I guess their hottest pitcher, their hottest starter would be Alejandro Pena.
I would think so. Bob Welch also pitched well down the stretch.
Fernando pitched last night and won his 15th. So I would imagine that Fernando will not be the one to open on Tuesday night. Maybe he'll go on Wednesday.
Could be. If you think about it, as far as whom the Phillies could run out there against the Dodgers, Steve Carlton, just talking about left-handers here, Carlton, and out of the bullpen, Al Holland and Willie Hernandez. And the Dodgers had the worst record in the league against left-handed pitching this year.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, here at Shea Stadium, to honor America, the crowd rising for the presentation of our national anthem. ladies and gentlemen, the Canadian national anthem. The Canadian national anthem followed by our own national anthem. Anthems of Canada and the United States. The ground crew with a little bit more work to do. They have to roll the tarps out of the way. The starting pitchers, Tom Seaver and Bill Gullickson, are completing their warm-ups in the bullpen. We'll have baseball going in a moment. Steve, it's a shame that the weather has put such a damper on the crowd here today. It's a very special day for the best young prospects in the Mets organization. It is the second annual Doubleday Awards.
Exactly right. The Doubleday Awards presented to the top players in each of the Mets minor league farm clubs, and some real talent in at Shea Stadium today to accept those awards.
It was fun doing an interview with Dwight Gooden, who's only 18 years old, on the pregame show today. For a young man of 18, he certainly is poised.
Boy, he's some kid. Dwight and outfielder Lenny Dykstra were the Doubleday Award winners for the Mets A Club in the Carolina League at Lynchburg. You know about Dwight Gooden, I'm sure. He was 19-4 at Lynchburg. Struck out 300 batters. Had a 2.5 ERA. Then moved up to Tidewater and was 2-1 in 3 starts in the playoffs. He's only 18 years old. He will not be 19 until November the 19th. Dwight Gooden out of Tampa, Florida. Lenny Dykstra had some year at Lynchburg in the Carolina League. He was the MVP in the league. Set a new Carolina League record in stolen bases. He had 105 stolen bases this year and was thrown out only 23 times. He batted .358. 8 home runs, 81 runs batted in. Lenny Dykstra out of Garden Grove, California. That's 12th selection in the June 1981 draft. Lenny Dykstra and Dwight Gooden, the Doubleday Award winners from the Lynchburg Ball Club, the Lynchburg Mets of the Carolina League. The winner at Tidewater of the Doubleday Award is Clint Hurdle, who, of course, has joined the Mets for the last month of the year. Hurdle had a big power year, 22 home runs for Tidewater, a club record 105 RBIs, club record 33 doubles, and hit .286. He was released during spring training by the Seattle Mariners and signed by the Mets in early April to play at Tidewater. Hurdle, now called up for the last month of the year by the Mets, the Doubleday Award winner as the top player at Tidewater this year. At Jackson, there's some real talent on that Jackson club, and the Doubleday Award winners from that club, outfielder Herman Winningham. And, well, he was the first pick in the secondary phase of the January '81 draft for the Mets. He hit .354 for Jackson, 4 homers, 41 RBIs, 17 stolen bases. Then was promoted to Tidewater, where he hit .268 in 29 games. And John Gibbons. People in the Mets front office think a lot of Gibbons as a catcher. He was on the Texas League All-Star team. He hit .299 for the Mets Jackson club with 25 doubles, 18 homers, 67 runs batted in, and then joined Tidewater for the AAA World Series, which, of course, the Tides won. The Columbia winners of the Doubleday Awards, pitcher Kevin Brown and second baseman Steve Springer. Brown is a left-hander who was 15-7 for Columbia. Was named to the League All-Star team. Gave up only 111 hits in 170 innings. He was a first-round selection in January of this year. Just 20 years old and lives in Baltimore. Steve Springer is a second baseman who hit well over 300 at Columbia with 88 runs batted in and 23 stolen bases. At Little Falls in the New York Penn League, outfielder Stan Jefferson was the Doubleday Award winner along with pitcher Jeff Innes. Jefferson, out of Bethune-Cookman University, originally from the Bronx, one of 3 first-round picks in this June's draft. He had a big year, hitting .320. And Jeff Innes was also a Doubleday Award winner at Little Falls. At Sarasota in the Gulf Coast League, shortstop Marcus Lawton was the Doubleday Award winner as the top player with that farm club. Just 18 years old. Hit .257 in 52 games for Sarasota. So those are the young people being honored today as the winners of the Doubleday Awards. Top players at each of the Mets minor league farm clubs. Here at Shea Stadium in New York, we're about ready to get the doubleheader underway with Tom Seaver pitching in the first game for New York against Bill Gullickson. Tim Raines about ready to move into the batter's box, the leadoff man for the Montreal Expos. And to the microphone, Bob Murphy.
Thank you very much, Steve Lamar, and hi again, everyone. Been a sound year for Tim Raines, the Montreal left fielder, as he approaches superstar status. He's hitting .299 and again leads the National League in stolen bases with 86. And believe it or not, he has scored 130 runs. So Tim Raines, a very big year. Tom Seaver is ready to go to work. Tom's last start of the year. Tom has pitched very well. He has been provided very few runs to work with, but he has pitched a very solid baseball season. He has not missed a turn. Now Seaver is into his windup, and we get underway here at Shea. There's that big blooper he likes to throw occasionally, particularly to a young hitter. It is high and away, 1 ball and no strikes. Seaver, in 230 innings, has allowed 201 hits. Tom hoping to win his 10th game here this afternoon. High and away, 2 balls and no strikes. That mound may be a little tricky to work off because of the amount of rain that we have had. Ground crew has done their very best to get it in decent shape. Fouled behind home plate back into the crowd. Montreal in second place of the National League East, or rather in third place, but only a half game behind Pittsburgh. The Pirates play an afternoon ball game against the Phillies at Veterans Stadium. So the Expos would like to finish second. Here's the pitch on the way, high and outside. It's 3-1. More money if you finish second than if you finish third. Today's superstructured salaries, you wonder how much that means to some of the players, but I'm sure to the younger players just coming up, it's important. 3-1 delivery, a strike call to the outside corner, and it's 3-2. This year against Montreal, Tom has won 2 and lost 1, has a lifetime record against the Expos of 22 wins and 12 losses. Now the wind-up, the 3-2 delivery, and a high fly over toward the left field line. Foster going to the line, across the line, makes the catch, retiring Raines. George just over the line made the grab. It will be not easy playing the outfield or the infield this afternoon because of the amount of rain that we have had. Brian Little is playing second base and batting second. He's played a lot this year for Montreal. He's been in 103 games, 338 times at bat, hitting at .251. When the season began and in the early part of the year, he was alternating at shortstop with Chris Fire. Then late in the year, of course, Montreal picked up Manny Trio. The pitch thrown and a big off-speed slow curve for a strike call. After they acquired Manny Trio, Trio went to second, and Doug Flynn was moved over to play shortstop. Montreal coming up a little bit short again this year. They have an awful lot of talent on their ball club. Way inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. It'll be the Phillies and the Dodgers Tuesday night at Dodger Stadium. The White Sox and the Orioles Wednesday afternoon at Baltimore. Now Seaver sighting in, Ortiz setting the target. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Brian Little. On the infield for New York, Gary Racich at first. Brian Giles playing second. Bobby Baylor at short. Hubie Brooks in on the grass against Brian Little at third. Foster in left, Wilson in center, Strawberry around at right. The catcher, Junior Ortiz. Ground ball hammered to first. Tough play. Racich has it. Now he'll take it to the bag. That retires Brian Little. He had a tough hop to handle. Good job of picking by Gary Racich. 2 outs and nobody on. Here is Andre Dawson. Andre Dawson, Dale Murphy, Mike Schmidt, Pedro Guerrero. Those are the names you'll hear so much of when it comes time to select the league's most valuable player. Andre Dawson, he's had a superstar year. Batting .303, 32 home runs, 112 runs batted in, 36 doubles. Ground ball hammered to shortstop. Bobby Baylor takes it out of the dirt. The throw to Racich. The inning is over. So the Expos are gone in order. Nothing across. In the middle of inning 1, Montreal nothing, New York coming to bat.
Have you heard the word? HWD funding gives you more in a mortgage.
More?
More types of mortgages with low rates and money-saving extras you won't find anywhere else.
How's that?
For starters, a low 9.75% initial interest rate with an annual percentage rate of 9.99.
Really?
It's yours with a manageable adjustable rate mortgage from HWD. At this low rate, you'll be able to buy more house for your money and get the dream home you've always wanted.
Ooh.
All right.
Will your lender design your mortgage to be assumable or even let you take your mortgage with you when you move?
You're kidding.
On many mortgages, HWD gives you a choice. A new portable mortgage feature. So if you move, you can transfer your mortgage to your new home and save closing costs. Or a new assumable mortgage feature, which makes your home easier to sell.
Fantastic.
Now you're talking.
And our friendly mortgage experts will explain all your options to you in simple English. No confusing terms.
Sounds great.
Convenience, we'll come to your broker's office or even your home.
Sold.
So ask your realtor about HWD's new low-interest manageable adjustable mortgage. Or give us a call.
Call HWD Funding toll-free 1-800-462-4656. Member FSLIC and equal housing lender.
Getting you on the road the way you want to go, it's Northway Buick Toyota. Choice? Whether you prefer the styling of a Buick, the fuel efficiency of a Toyota, or the economy of a used car, Northway has them all to buy or lease. Service? Northway has 2 separate service departments for Buick and Toyota. And price? Well, if you don't have a Northway sticker on the back of your car, you can bet you paid too much. For choice, service, and price, it's Northway Buick Toyota, Route 9, 1/4 mile south of the Latham Circle.
Winner Bill Gullickson, the Montreal pitcher this afternoon, his 34th start of the year. He defeated Pittsburgh 5-3 at his last start. That was at Olympic Stadium. So Bill Gullickson, who has won 6 in a row. Last time he lost the game was August 21st in San Diego, and he's won 10 of his last 11. Over the last 11 decisions, Gullickson is 10-1 with a 268 earned run average. So Bill Gullickson enjoying an excellent year. Gullickson and Rogers are both 17-game winners. And Charlie Lee has won 16. On the infield for the Montreal Expos, Mike Stenhouse is playing first, Brian Little at second. Angel Salazar is at short, and Tim Wallach at third. Tim Raines in left, Andre Dawson in center, Terry Francona around at right. The catcher is Gary Carter. And leading off for New York will be Mookie Wilson. Regular season winds up tomorrow. An afternoon game, the Mets and the Expos. Hope you're planning to be on hand. And I hope the weather's better. Weatherman is saying it will get a lot better. First pitch thrown to Mookie, a breaking ball inside and low ball 1. Steve, they're saying it'll get a lot better right here at Shea before this day is over. I hope they're right.
Oh, I do too.
And still not finalizing their plans. We want to come along a little later. We've got a lot of baseball. We're just underway with a doubleheader. I was surprised when I drove to the stadium today coming down the Hutchinson River Parkway. I didn't encounter rain till I got to the Whitestone Bridge. I think the rain just settled in right over Shea Stadium. The 1-1 delivery to Mookie and a half-swing foul ball skimming over the dugout. No play.
There was a little rain coming in from farther out on Long Island, but boy, once we got here, the skies opened up. It rained hard for a while.
It just kind of zeroed in on the stadium. Right-hander Bill Gullickson winding. He has good stuff. Fastball fouled off and out of play. Bill Gullickson is just 24 years old out of Kankakee, Illinois. 17-11. 1-1 against the New York Mets this year. Career-wise, 5-3. The 1-2 delivery and a bouncing ball that is going to be, it hits the third base bag. Fair ball goes into foul territory. Mookie goes to second base. So Mookie has a double. He hit a bouncer down the third base line. It hit the third base bag and then went down into foul territory. So Mookie is on with his 25th double of the year. There are times when you'd rather be lucky than good. It would not be easy to stand at home plate and throw that ball and have it hit the bag. Now Hubie Brooks. Hubie hitting .253, 5 homers, 57 RBIs. 24-year-old Bill Gullickson is the Montreal pitcher, hooking up with Tom Seaver in the first game of the doubleheader. Here's the pitch on the way, and a half-swing foul ball, no play. Jimmy Fry on the muddy coaching lines at first. Bobby Valentine, the same amount of mud coaching at third. Every effort will be made to get all three of these games in, as it should be. Center fielder Andre Dawson playing over to right center against Hubie Brooks. Line drive down the right field line, fair ball, a base hit. Mookie around third, he'll score easily. Hubie is on his way to second, and it's back-to-back doubles by Mookie and Hubie. And the Mets have a 1-0 lead. That was a well-hit line drive down the right field line for Hubie Brooks, his 18th double of the year, and his 58th run batted in. Darryl Strawberry. Marvelous rookie season winding down now for Darryl Strawberry. Darryl hitting .257, 26 home runs, and 74 runs batted in. He has more home runs and more RBIs than any other National League rookie. Shares the lead in game-winning runs batted in with Gary Reedus. Fouled back upstairs and out of play. Cincinnati has played well the second half of the year with a very young ball club. They'll have every reason to feel good when they go to spring training next season in Tampa. Strawberry waiting. Right-hander Bill Gullickson's pitch. Late swing and a foul behind third. That goes into the crowd. Let's have the early lead on back-to-back doubles by Mookie Wilson and Hubie Brooks. Delighted to have the Doubleday Award winners at Shea Stadium this afternoon. They represent a lot of fine young talent. Oh, he's hit on the right leg. Darryl Strawberry hit on the right knee with a pitch. Hubie Brooks, who was running, will have to go back to second base. Strawberry doesn't seem to be bothered by it. So now runners on first and second, nobody out. George Foster will bat. Strawberry now seems to be limping as he gets down to first. That could very well stiffen up on him. You get by all right for a while, but after you get hit like that, sometimes it'll stiffen up. It hit him on the right knee. So a moment or two taken here for Strawberry as he walks a little bit to make sure his knee is all right. George Foster. One more home run than Darryl Strawberry. George has 27 and 87 runs batted in. Best year since '79 for George. Now the pitch thrown to Foster, a fastball, high ball, one. One run in, New York with a 1-0 lead. First inning, first game of a doubleheader. Skies are overcast, still a little fog around. It is not raining. It rained an awful lot earlier. The 1-0 delivery, swing and a miss, 1 ball and 1 strike. Mets have played the Expos tough this year. 15 games played. Montreal has won 8. New York has won 7. Mets have the advantage at Shea Stadium, winning 4 out of 6. Montreal with the double play combination of Brian Little and Angel Salazar set up looking for 2. Drive well hit toward left field on the run. Tim Raines, it might go, and it is gone. A 3-run homer. Foster, it was a line drive that just cleared the wall and sailed into the visiting bullpen. For Foster, his 28th home run. Now he has 90 runs batted in. That's getting off to a flying start against a hot pitcher, Bill Gullickson. They lead 4-0. And we pause for station identification on the New York Mets Baseball Network.
You're listening to News Radio 1460, WWCN Albany. It's 1:32, and please pardon our technical difficulties.
Bob Murphy with Steve Lamar. The hitter is Gary Racich. 4 men have come to bat. 4 runs are on the scoreboard in the first inning, so the Mets lead 4-0. Gullickson delivers to Gary Racich and a drive into short right center field. That'll be a base hit. Running the ball down is Francona, the right fielder. Time will be called here by Bill Burton, and he will ask his pitching coach, Galen Cisco. Galen, a former Ohio State All-American football player, fine major league pitcher, and he was an original New York Met. And one of those who pitched so very well in the legendary baseball game, the second game of a doubleheader in 1964, played between the Mets and the Giants. The Giants finally won it in 23 innings. Mets in their brief history have played a 23-inning game, a 24-inning game, and a 25-inning game. Played the 24-inning game with Houston. The 25-inning game with St. Louis. Longest game ever played to a conclusion in the major leagues. Bobby Baylor is the batter. Here's the pitch on the way, and a ground ball slowly hit to second. Little to Salazar for 1 to first. Double play. They turn it over 4-6-3. Now 2 outs and nobody on. 4 runs in, and Brian Giles will be coming up. Brian is on a hitting streak at the end of the year. Brian hitting .417 over the last 8 games. Greg Barker, a right-hander, is on call now in the Montreal bullpen. This is a very hot pitcher, Bill Gullickson. The Mets have combed for 4 runs in the opening inning. He came into this game having won 10 of his last 11. He jams the hitter, a foul ball going over into the stands, no play. Lights are on, it's so foggy. But it's not raining, and the rain may be over for the remainder of the day. Not sure about it. Gullickson checking it out with Gary Carter. Look out, Brian. That's high inside off the point of the shoulder. 1 ball and 1 strike. Gary Carter setting a target. It just misses. 2 balls and 1 strike. Expos start the day a half game behind Pittsburgh for second place. The Phillies are the Eastern Division champions. 2-1 delivery. Low and away, ball 3. A month ago, it looked like Steve Rogers was almost a shoo-in for the Cy Young Award. No longer. Favorite now would have to be Philadelphia's John Denny, a 19-game winner. 3-1 delivery. High pop foul behind the plate. Gary Carter has room. He's under it, and he grabs it for the up. Good opening inning for New York. The Mets scoring 4 runs, 4 hits, nobody left. At the end of 1, the Mets 4 and the Expos nothing.
Some things speak for themselves. Your car the wrong kind of gasoline, you could end up with a pig. You see, as soon as you buy your car, its appetite for octane begins to grow. Try and satisfy it with a regular unleaded gasoline, and it could act sluggish and noisy. Switch switch to an unleaded premium, and it could eat you out of house and home. But fill it with Getty Unleaded Plus, and you'll have a whole other animal. Because Getty Unleaded Plus helps give you premium performance without a premium price. It helps smooth out the knocks, silence the pings. It can even help your gas mileage. It's the kind of gasoline value you'd expect from Getty. So try Getty Unleaded Plus. It can help your car run like a stallion and eat like a bird. At Getty, the proof is at the pump.
Tom Seaver has left the game. We'll get a medical report. Obviously, something troubled him. It'll be disappointing for Tom. He has 4 runs to work with. He wanted very much to close the season out with his 10th win. Darryl Strawberry has left the lineup. Darryl was hit on the right knee with a pitch thrown by Bill Gullickson. And Danny Heap comes in to play right field. So Tom, after retiring the Expos 1-2-3 in the opening inning, has left the ball game, and young Brent Gaff is on in relief. Gaff worked an inning night before last against the Pirates in Pittsburgh, and it was a 1-2-3 inning. Brent was 6-7, pitching mostly in long relief for the Tidewater Tides this summer. So Tom Seaver has left the ball game. Mike Stenhouse is the batter leading off. Stenhouse had an outstanding year in AAA and then was brought up. Looks like a very good young hitter, left-hand batter. Hit hard toward the hole, off the glove of Brian Giles. He tries to grab it, but it's too late. Boy, is it wet in the outfield. Brian, with better footing, would have made that play. But as he tried to turn to throw, his feet just went flying out from under him. And he's got a wet uniform. You can hydroplane in the outfield right now. There's that much water out there. They'll probably score that as a base hit. Stenhouse, a base runner, a base hit. He hit the ball sharply and into the hole. Giles did a good job to get his glove on it. He almost stopped it. It rolled about 10 feet away, and when he tried to go get it, that's when his feet went out from under him. And a bunt by Terry Francona. It'll be another base hit. It'll be tough to play. So Francona has bunted his way on very quickly. Runners on first and second, nobody out. An infield hit and a bunt single. Francona is on first. Stenhouse on second, and Gary Carter will come up. Carter hitting .270, 17 home runs and 79 runs batted in. Gary's stats this year not comparable with last year, but nothing to be ashamed of. Let's have the infield looking for 2. The outfield is stride to left. Breaking ball by Gaff, a curve that's over a strike call. 4-0 New York, top of the second. This could wind up a very high-scoring ball game. Vern Rapp coaching first. Billy DeMars on the lines at third. Hard slider, low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mets are hoping to get at least 1 game in here today, should the weather worsen. Low and away, ball 2, and the second game could not be played. There would be a doubleheader tomorrow on the last day of the year. That has happened before. One year, the Phillies were in town for the last series. Bouncing ball hit toward the middle. Bobby Baylor throws to Giles. They have a force play. 1 out, first and third. Mets were in last place, and the Phillies were not in the race. The Saturday night game, next to last day of the season, went 18 innings and then was suspended. They came right back Sunday and played a doubleheader. That'll get your attention. Some way to close the season. That's when you know you're going good. First and third, 1 down. Tim Wallach, the third baseman, right-hand hitter, waiting. Low, outside, it's ball 1. Wallach hitting .271, 19 home runs and 69 runs batted in. Not quite as good as last year's first full season. Now a fastball out of the strike zone, 2-0. The infield is straight away, a double play up. Swing and a miss. Good fastball by Brent Yap. Montreal, as a team, batting to the slow ground ball, foul, no play. Fouled out of play behind first base. Crowd will be small today because of the inclement weather. Spring Fan Appreciation Day. They were expecting a good turnout. Gap is ready. The 2-2 delivery. Off speed. Pitch outside and low. 3-2. New York leading 4-0. Montreal threatening first and third and one out. Right-hand batter Tim Wallach at the plate. High fly ball hit the center. A run will score. Mookie easing back. He's under it, and he makes the catch. Tagged up and coming home is Mike Stenhouse. Now it's 4-1. An RBI for Tim Wallach, his 70th of the year. Two men away and a runner on first. And Angel Salazar will be coming up. One of the good young prospects in the Montreal organization. Tom Seaver strained his lower back. That's why Tom had to leave the game. Darryl Strawberry, as you know, was hit by a pitch ball. Fastball that is high. Tom rushed off the mound on a ball hit to first baseman Gary Aracich and strained his lower back in doing so. Ground ball hammered toward the hole, base hit into left field. Now runners on first and second as Salazar hit one beyond the reach of a diving Bobby Baylor. And the pitcher Bill Gullickson will come up. Third hit of the inning for Montreal. Gary Carter stopping at second, and Bill Gullickson will be the batter. Gullickson has 10 hits on the year and 80 at-bats. So Tom Seaver his season has been ended, and it was a good year for Tom. He did not miss a start all year long. He wound up pitching 231 innings, the most on the staff. Strike called on the outside corner. And in 231 innings, he allowed just 201 hits. High pop fly near third base. Calling for it is Hubie Brooks. He's in foul ground by strike. Takes it and the inning is over. Montreal getting one run on 3 hits. They left 2 men on. At the end of an inning and a half, the score, 4-1 New York.
Cole Auto Supply knows that hoses, coolants, belts, and brakes are very susceptible to hot weather damage. That's why Cole Auto Supply is stocked up on those parts to help make your summer driving hassle-free. So if you're looking for auto parts for your foreign car or your domestic car, Cole Auto Supply has the answer. Cole Auto Supply at 2 convenient locations, 2953 Hamburg Street, Schenectady, and 492 Albany Shaker Road, Loudonville. Cole Auto Supply, proudly serving the Capital District for over 15 years. It doesn't matter who wears the pants in your family, because at JCPenney we've got active pants to outfit just about everyone. All in sturdy permanent press polyester and cotton twill with elastic waistband and contrast piping. They're the ideal pants to slip into, and comfort and sporty good looks are what you're after. Little girls and little boys sizes are only $7.99. Big girls and big boys sizes only $8.99. Active pants for juniors are only $9.99, and our active pants for men are only $12.99. Follow the call to action at terrific low prices. You'll also save from 40 to 50% on fashion footwear for the family. We have a great selection of styles from casual to dressy. You'll look great and feel great to the tips of your toes, and you'll save. And of course, you can charge it. Use your JCPenney card, your Visa or MasterCard at JCPenney in Clifton Country Mall, Clifton Park, Latham Circle Mall, Latham, and 911 Central Avenue in Albany. Sale does not include entire stock. Prices are effective through Saturday.
Wilford Motors on Austin Street in Forest Hill. Last of the second at Shea Stadium, 4-1 New York. Junior Ortiz will be leading off. Montreal hoping to overhaul the Pirates and finish second in the National League East. Pirates are playing this afternoon at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. Phillies won last night 2-1. As John Denny won his 19th of the year, he has lost only 6. This being Fan Appreciation Day, those who are here received a free 6-pack Coca-Cola cooler. And when the rain came down, some were using it on their head as a rain hat. That's what you call putting your head in the cooler. We've done that before. I think so. Especially on a real hot day. Junior Ortiz hitting a high fly to left field. Rain's easing back, draws a beat on it, and has it for the out. So Junior sees one pitch and flies to left. 1 out and nobody on. Brent Gaff coming up. Funny how things go. Tom Seaver stayed very healthy. Did not miss a start all year long, and this is his final start. He slipped coming off of that very funny mound. They go over to first base and covers, straight in, lower back, and heads away the ball game. Now Gaff takes high and tight, ball 1. The windup by Gullickson and the pitch on the way, a fastball for a strike. Chicago playing in St. Louis on this last weekend of the season. High infield pop out behind second, short center field. Salazar is under it, grabs it for the out. Also in the National League today, the Reds are playing in the Astrodome. The Giants at Dodger Stadium. The Dodgers have won in the National League West. The Pirates are at Philadelphia. The Phillies have won in the East. Atlanta finishing second, closes out at San Diego. The hottest team, or certainly the hottest along with Baltimore, the American League, the Chicago White Sox. I couldn't remember the last time they lost a ball game. Pitch to Mookie, fouled off, and then what happened? Mike Warren, a rookie, 22-year-old rookie, now 5-3. What did he do? He pitched a no-hitter against the White Sox. We've had 3 no-hitters in the major leagues this year. Dave Rigetti pitched one. He had the first one. Bob Force the second, and now Mike Warren the third. And a looping fly into short center. Coming on is Dawson. It's a base hit. He has to grab it on the hop. Mookie has 2 for 2. Steve, I read this morning that the no-hitter by Mike Warren is the first pitch by a rookie in 10 years. Yes, Jim Bibby would be the last rookie to have thrown one. Pitching then for the Texas Rangers. Right. Mike Warren, rookie right-hander who started the year in A-ball, or was it double-A, I guess, was called up, sent back to triple-A, brought back again. He'll be here to stay for a while now. UB Brooks, the hitter. Look out, foul ball back under our broadcasting booth and out of play. On this final weekend, the Yankees, of course, are in Baltimore. They split a doubleheader last night. Milwaukee playing at Detroit with Jack Morris going for his 21st win. Mookie leads off first. I don't know whether he tried to steal on this track or not. High foul fly down the right field line. It veers out of play. Minnesota is at Toronto. Doyle Alexander made a pretty good comeback late this season after struggling awfully hard for a year and a half. Cleveland playing at Boston, Kansas City at Oakland. That is a doubleheader. Steve Boros certainly has done a good job with the Oakland A's. And a half-swing slow roller hit to second base. Fielded by Brian Little, he throws on to first. The inning is over. No runs, a hit, a man left. At the end of 2 at Shea, New York 4, Montreal 1.
Well, another business trip. Yeah. Time for the old squeeze play. Huh? You know, squeezing into those airline seats.
Oh, not this time. This time we're flying TWA's ambassador class.
With TWA's ambassador class, you'll sit in a separate business cabin with wider, roomier, more comfortable seats than coach. And you're never more than 1 seat from the aisle. You'll get complimentary cocktails in the air and a separate check-in counter on the ground.
Well, looks like the squeeze play is off and the take sign is on.
And the take sign?
That's right. Take TWA's ambassador class. You're gonna like us,
TWA's ambassador class is now available on every wide-body flight to Los Angeles, San Francisco, and other U.S. cities. So say goodbye to the squeeze. For just $10 to $30 more than coach, you can stretch out and relax in TWA's ambassador class.
Tomorrow is the last day of the regular season. The Mets will be playing Montreal at 1:35. Today is Fan Appreciation Day. The crowd held down by the rain and the fog. It is also the day for the Doubleday Awards presentations made to the top players on each of the 6 minor league ball clubs. Clint Hurdle, the top player at Tidewater. Herm Winningham and John Gibbons at Jackson. Dwight Gooden and Lenny Dykstra you'll meet later in Lynchburg. Kevin Brown and Steve Springer at Columbia. Stan Jefferson and Jeff Ennis at Little Falls. And Marcus Lutz at Sarasota. Congratulations to those young men. Third inning now at Shea Stadium, and to pick up the action, Steve Lamar.
24-year-old Brent Gaff. Right-hander came on in the second inning when Tom Seaver had to leave the game with a strained lower back. And Gaff delivers the strike call to the leadoff man in the Montreal batting order, Tim Raines.
Must have warmed up inside in the cage.
We apologize for the technical difficulties. This is WWCN Albany.
Gaff is ready now. The 1-strike pitch is hit in the air to center field. Mookie is coming in. He gets under it now, and he's got it for the out. 1 away. Yeah, Gaff just came in from the dugout. He was ready to pitch.
I'm sure he went into the cage and warmed up there where it's nice and dry.
1 out in the third inning, and Brian Little is coming up. He grounded out in the first inning.
Having a good batting cage built in under the stands can really be a help to a Major League ball club, especially early in the year and late when you get some bad weather. You don't miss workouts.
Brooks up on the grass. Little, a very good bunter, and he bunts one. He pops it up off the mound. It's Gaff. He drops the ball, and on will be Brian Little.
He dropped the ball because he saw Gary Racich coming right at him. And he knew or felt there was going to be a collision and felt it was more important to get out of the way. I don't blame him.
Not 1 bit. Racich is a big guy and a solid guy. It was a top bunt on the first base side of the mound.
So it'll be an error on Brent Gaff. Can't hardly blame him, though.
Brian Little is the man at first base. 1 out. And Andre Dawson coming to the plate.
Boy, Montreal's really serious about this ball game. They're trying to bunt their way on like crazy. They want to finish second.
At the moment are in third place in the East, trailing the Pirates by a half game. Here's the pitch, and it is over for a strike to Andre Dawson. Dawson is tied for third in the league with 32 home runs. He is second in the National League in runs batted in with 112 behind Dale Murphy. The pitch is hit in the air deep to left field, but foul and out of play. Dawson getting around, pulling that one deep to left, but he pulled it foul and out of play. It's 0-2. Dawson has set a new Montreal record with his 112 runs batted in. Swings and hits a fly ball to center. Backing is Mookie on that wet turf out there, and now he gets there and makes the catch. Back to first base goes Brian Little. Dawson is flied to center to Mookie Wilson. And the batter will be Mike Stenhouse. He had a base hit off Brian Giles' glove in the second inning and scored the Montreal run. Gaff was up with the Mets last year for about a month. Then was returned to Tidewater. Made 5 starts, pitched twice in relief, was 0-3 last year. Pitches up high and away to Stenhouse, ball 1. Here at Tidewater, Gaff was used mostly in middle and short relief, 1-6, lost 7. The pitch. High to Stenhouse, and it's 2-0. Mike Stenhouse, left-handed batting first baseman. Here's the pitch. It's away from him. The count goes to 3-0. Stenhouse has some power. Hit 25 home runs and hit 355 this year at Wichita. 3-0 pitch. Over for a strike. He took it 3-1. 1 on, 2 out, 3rd inning. Mets scored 4 in the first and lead 4-1 in this first game of the Twin Bill. 3-1 pitch by Gaff is fouled away up on the screen. 3-2.
Bill Madlock leading the National League in hitting at 324. He's just 1 point ahead of Jose Cruz of the Astros. Cruz had 2 hits last night against Cincinnati. The runner goes. Strike 3 called. And the inning is over. Stenhouse called out on strikes. No runs, no hits. There was an error, a man left. After 2.5 innings, New York 4, Montreal 1.
When business takes you to Syracuse, the name to remember is Mall Airways. Mall is there to meet your travel needs with 5 flights to Syracuse every business day. And only Mall Airways offers business travelers a unique frequent flyer program when you fly between Albany and Syracuse. Just fly Mall Airways 7 times between Albany and Syracuse and earn a free flight with Mall to or from Syracuse or receive a cash rebate of $40. All you have to do to get this great deal is to fly Mall Airways to Syracuse on your next few business trips. You'll enjoy friendly service and comfortable seating. Best of all, you'll enjoy the benefits of Mall's frequent flyer program to Syracuse. To join Mall's program, pick up a card at the Mall ticket counter or call 869-2218. Plus, Mall Airways and American International Rent-A-Car now offer you an additional $10 cash rebate when you fly Mall to Syracuse and rent a car from AI. So the next time you have business in Syracuse, call Mall Airways at 869-2218 or call your travel agent. At Mall Airways, we mean business for you. With fall on the way, it means cooler nights, shorter days, and harder starts for your car. The Battery Mart at 650 River Street in Troy has the answer. They're loaded with money-saving discount prices on hundreds of auto parts. Save on starters, alternators, clutches, fuel pumps, and, of course, batteries. Stock up now on antifreeze at only $2.99 per gallon or 24 quarts of Prize Pen 10W40 motor oil at an incredible $20.95. That's 24 quarts for $20.95. Don't miss the fantastic sale prices at the Battery Mart, your complete discount auto parts center, 650 River Street in Troy, just a couple of blocks north of the Collar City Bridge. Open 7 days a week. For a price quote, call 273-7779. That's 273-7779. The Battery Mart. Batteries and much, much more.
Listening to News Radio 1460 WWCN Albany. It's 2 p.m.
Steve Lamar with Bob Murphy at Shea. Here is Danny Heap. He took over for Strawberry after Darryl was hit by a pitch in the knee in the first inning. So it'll be Heap, Foster, and Racich in the bottom of the 3rd. Bill Gullickson's pitch is bounced towards second base. Brian Little charges in, makes the play, and throws out Heap. So Danny retired on 1 pitch. George Foster will be the batter. It is 28th home run with 2 aboard in the first inning. Foster is 6th in the league in home runs, and now tied with Ron Say for the number 8 spot in runs batted in. Bill Gullickson with a pitch to Foster, fouled away up on the screen. We're talking about the batting race. Jose Cruz made up some ground on Bill Madlock last night. Cruz went 2 for 4, while Madlock was 0 for 2 for the Pirates before leaving the game. Ground ball down the third base line, backhanded by Wallach, and his throw to Stenhouse is a good one. Foster is out.
This will not be the first time Bill Madlock has gone down to the last day of the season seeking a batting title. I think it was a few years ago that he battled Dan Dreesen on the final day before he won it.
Madlock trying to become only the 11th player in history to win 4 batting titles. Gary Racich lets a delivery go down low. 1 ball and no strikes. Racich, a left-handed hitter. Nobody on, 2 men out. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gary had a soft single to right field in the first inning. He's 1 for 1. Gullickson, 10-1 since late July, 17-11 on the year. Delivers, and it's fouled back. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Well, let's see, Steve. Bill Madlock will be hitting against Kevin Gross of the Phillies. Jose Cruz against Frank Pastore.
Ground ball hit by Racich down the first base line and foul. Houston scored 4 runs in the first inning off Pastore today.
Jose Cruz must have had a base hit.
Very well could have. Cruz leads the league in base hits with 189. Andre Dawson is 1 behind him. 1-2 pitch. Fouled away up on the screen.
Houston does not get a great deal of publicity in New York, but several on the Astro Ball Club this year, including shortstop Dickie Thon, have really had good years.
Thon really had a good one, as did Cruz. 1-2 the count to Gary Racich, and the pitch by Gullickson. Breaking ball is hit into right field for a base hit. Soft liner hit by Racich, and he's 2 for 2.
I think if you had to select the outstanding shortstop in the league this year, it would have to be Dickie Thon.
I would think so.
The next batter, shortstop.
He had a big year. Doesn't appear to be a guy that can generate much power, but he hit over 20 home runs. He's strong.
Astros were mainly concerned about whether or not he had the arm strength to play shortstop. It turned out that he did have enough arm strength.
Bob Baylor, the batter, and the first pitch is low and away. One ball and no strikes to Bob Baylor. And the pitch. That is low. 2 balls and no strikes. The Astros came up a little bit short in the Western Division this year. They lost their first 9 games of the season, but played very, very well after that. High and inside to Baylor. 3 balls and no strikes.
To the Astros general manager Al Rosen is being rumored as the next president of the American League. As a player, he was a standout of the American League, a third baseman with Cleveland.
3-0 in the pitch. Strike called at the letters to Baylor. 3-1. Racich on at first. 2 men out. 3rd inning. Now Bill Gullickson is ready, and here's his pitch. Lined up the middle. Base hit. Racich will stop at second as the ball kicks up a lot of water going out toward Andre Dawson in center field. 2 men on here as back-to-back singles by Racich and Baylor have put runners at first and second. And with 2 out, Brian Giles will be the hitter. Giles hitting over 400 with 8 runs batted in the last 8 games. Gary Racich is at second base. Bob Baylor at first. 2 men out. Bottom of the 3rd inning. Gullickson's delivery is a fastball for a strike call. 0-1. Gullickson was 4-0 in the month of September. He's won his last 6 and 10 of his last 11. Breaking ball for a strike called. 0-2 to Brian Giles. Mets leading the Expos 4-1 in the 3rd inning. And the pitch. This is line toward left field, a base hit. Racich around 3rd, heading home. He will score, and it's 5-1. Brian Giles drives in a run. Gullickson got the first 2 men in the inning. Now Racich, Baylor, and Giles have all singled. Baylor stopped at second on the base hit by Giles. Junior Ortiz coming to the plate. He lined to left his first time up. Gullickson ready. Here's the pitch. Fouled away by Giles, or by Ortiz. Strike 1. The RBI by Brian Giles was his 26th of the year. Here's the pitch. Fastball, strike called. 0-2. Giles is at first, Baylor at second. 2 men out, a run in, and the Mets leading the Expos 5-1. Gullickson's 0-2 pitch. Hit in the air to center field. Backing is Andre Dawson. He is there now, and he puts it away for the 3rd out of the inning. 1 run, 3 base hits, and 2 men were left on base. At the end of 3, the Mets 5, the Expos 1.
Is your small car giving you big performance problems? Those old struts may need replacing. Gabriel struts and cartridges feature heavy-duty shock absorber elements that have computer-tuned 9-stage valving for better handling and a smoother ride. Many strut assemblies are unsealed, so when the original strut element wears out, it can be replaced with a money-saving Gabriel cartridge. Look for the big Gabriel sign on Long Island at Bayer Auto, Hicksville, Rocket Auto, Albertson, Branch Automotive, Jamaica, and Auto Discount Center, Huntington Station, the better auto parts stores. Some things speak for themselves. St. Louis.
Fourth inning with Terry Francona set to lead off for the Montreal Expos against Brent Gaff. Francona had a bunt single his first time at bat. He's been playing a lot lately due to a back injury to Warren Cromartie. Strained his lower back in early September, and Francona has had a chance to play. For the year, Francona batting at .258. Ground ball hit to first. Backhanded by Racich. Good play. He goes to the bag, and Francona is out of there.
Gary Racich is not only a power hitter, but he is an excellent defensive ball player.
Unfortunately for Gary Racich, he plays the same position as Keith Hernandez.
But I imagine that over the course of this year, playing at Tidewater and now with the Mets, that he has impressed the scouts of other ball clubs with his play.
I would think so. Gary Carter is up there, and he swings and fouls one away back at the Mets dugout. 0-1. Say, fans, this bud's for the folks on the bleachers who keep the outfielders entertained. Yeah, that clean, crisp taste. that says Budweiser. Gaff with the 1-strike pitch to Carter. Lined over the head of Hubie Brooks and down the left field line. Hubie going up in the air, lost the glove. It came off and hit the baseball, and it rolled down the left field line.
Now, Gary Carter is arguing that he threw his glove at it. That's why Bill Burton is coming out. If the umpire felt that he did throw his glove at it, they would send Gary Carter around to third. And that's going to be the point of argument right now.
The glove came flying off and did hit the baseball and slowed up its flight. It dropped down in shallow left field.
Now, he didn't throw his glove at it. It's just that he leaped high in the air and the glove just came flying off of his hand and hit the ball. First time we've seen that in a while.
Oh. Burton back to the dugout. Carter is at first base. Tim Wallach is the hitter. He had a sacrifice fly to drive in his 70th run in the second inning. Low to him from Gaff. 1 ball and no strikes. And the pitch. This is low. 2-0 to Tim Wallach. Wallach has hit 19 home runs this year. Inside to him. And the count now is 3-0.
Tell you one thing, if that wind dies down, we're going to be up to our ears in fog.
The pitch. That is on the inside corner. 3-1. Wallach's numbers are down from a year ago. He had a real good season in '82 for the Expos. Ground ball down the third base line. Diving stop by Brooks. He gets up and throws him out.
Oh, that's one of the best plays of the year. I love it. You wouldn't think he could make that play on a dry field, much less on a muddy infield. Hubie has that marvelous quickness that separates defensive play around third base.
He is very quick. Diving to his right across the line, stabbed the ball, scrambled to his feet in a hurry, and threw a strike to Gary Racich. Wallach is out of there. The runner at second, Carter, 2 men out. And Angel Salazar is up there. The right-handed hitter takes a strike. Salazar spent most of the season in Wichita, hit about 300. 1 homer, 54 runs batted in. And this one is off the outside corner.
When you talk to the Expos, they'll tell you they think Salazar is their shortstop of the future, but he might still be a year away.
Carter at second with 2 men out. Salazar is just 21 years old. He's out of Venezuela. The pitch in the dirt outside and back to the screen. Carter goes to third on the wild pitch. And the count to Salazar, 2 balls and a strike. Salazar came into the Montreal organization in 1980. Spent 2 years in rookie ball at Calgary. Played last year in the Florida State League. Swing and a miss. 2-2.
Wonder what it's like early in the year playing at Calgary.
Must be a lot of fun, huh?
You need your long handles.
Angel Salazar, 2-2 pitch to it. Just missed the inside corner. 3-2. Gary Carter singled, went to second on a ground ball. Third on a wild pitch. 3-2 pitch. Fouled away by Salazar.
I think if Salazar gets on base, we're going to see a pinch hitter for Bill Gullickson. Greg Barger is up in the bullpen again.
Salazar hitting here with 2 men out. 3-2 pitch. Bouncing ball towards short. Baylor charges. Has it. Throws. The inning's over. Salazar grounds to short. No runs. 1 hit. And a man left at third. In the middle of the 4th inning. Mets 5. Expos 1.
Group Contact Lens Plan would like to let you in on a few facts. Did you know about 4 million people will discover contacts this year? That's more than ever before, and more than likely someone you deal with every day wears them. You may have thought that's fine for them, but it's not for me. Group Contact thinks otherwise because contact lenses are their one and only service, and at Group Contact you'll find the cost of quality eyewear is affordable. All package plans consist of lenses, starter solution, and eye examination and evaluation, fittings and adjustments, and 6 months of unlimited follow-up visits. Package plans start as low as $64 with a back-to-school coupon. Group Contact doesn't feel because 4 million people will be trying contacts, you should too. But Group Contact Lens Plan invites you in to see for yourself how easy it is to wear and care for contacts, and how they offer you quality eyewear with no compromise in value or service. Take good care of your eyes at Group Contact Lens Plan, Plaza 7, Professional Building, Latham. At Sawyer Sporting Goods in Clifton Park, we're footing the bill so you'll save more. Back to school can be enjoyable when you save on quality footwear at Sawyer's. Buy children's shoes such as Nike Scouts, regularly $19, now only $15. Or the traditional high canvas shoe by Nike is only $15. For the football and soccer athlete, there's the popular Nike Turf King for $14. You'll never save more on Nike footwear than now. At Sawyer Sporting Goods, exit 9 off the Northway on Route 146 in Clifton Park.
Five to 1 New York as we go to the last of the fourth inning. And pitcher Brent Gaff will take a turn at bat here to be followed by Mookie Wilson and Hubie Brooks. Tom Seaver started the game, pitched the first inning, but strained his lower back and had to leave. Gaff has pitched 3 innings now, allowing a run on 4 base hits.
You know, Steve, there's so much water in the outfield that between the innings, the groundskeepers come out and sweep water off and into the drainage area. Right now we're waiting for the member of the ground crew to get off the field after trying to get some of that water off the outfield and down into the drainage opening.
There is a lot of water out on the outfield and on the warning tracks. There were 2 big puddles, one in left center and one in straightaway center field that they've been trying to take care of. First pitch to Gaff is taken for a strike.
If it rains anymore, the field might not be playable for the second game today. If not, there'd be 2 tomorrow.
Now the pitch, Gaff with a swing and a miss. 2 strikes. George Foster with a big hit today, a 3-run homer in the first inning. Low, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Mets pitcher Brent Gaff. Bill Gullickson is ready for the 1-2 pitch. Here it is. Fouled away. Gullickson is due to lead off in the top of the 5th inning. He has been pitching so well for Montreal. He is tied for 2nd in the league in victories. Swing and a miss by Gaff, went after a bad pitch, and he is out on strikes. That will be the first strikeout for Bill Gullickson. John Denny won his 19th game of the year for Philadelphia last night. He leads the league. Gullickson, Steve Rogers, and Mario Soto have won 17. Charlie Lee, who's due to pitch here tomorrow, has won 16 for Montreal. First pitch to Mookie is high, 1-0.
Denny's earned run average 2.37, second best in the National League. He's got to be the odds-on choice now to win the Cy Young.
Has to be. High and away to Mookie, 2 balls and no strikes.
I think he's finished so well that even if Jesse Orozco had remained healthy and added some more numbers, I doubt that he could have won the Cy Young.
Swing and a miss by Mookie, 2 balls and 1 strike. John Denny practically unbeatable over the last couple of months of the season, winning 13 of his last 14. 2-1 pitch to Mookie. Popped up. Shallow left center field. Rains coming on in a hurry. His back goes to Shortstop Salazar, and it's Angel Salazar making the catch. So Mookie has been retired. 2 men gone in the 4th. Hubie Brooks will be the batter. He'll be lined to double down the right field line to drive in the first run in the first inning. And he grounded out in the second. Nobody on, 2 men out, bottom of the fourth. Mets and the Expos at Shea Stadium. Here's the pitch by Bill Gullickson, and it's good for a strike. Now the 0-1 pitch by Gullickson. This is hit in the air to center, right at Andre Dawson. Andre waits and makes the catch to retire the side. The Mets go 1-2-3 in the fourth, and after 4 innings, Mets 5, Expos 1.
Fans, here's your opportunity to bring your copy of the Mets cookbook, Gourmet's Up to Date, with recipes, career backgrounds, and family pictures of the Mets who have joined the team since 1982. Tom Seaver, Keith Hernandez, Darryl Strawberry, and Jose Oquendo. You can join us in our support of the March of Dimes Birth Defects Foundation through your purchase of Gourmet's. The 1983 supplement alone is $3.50. The original Gourmet's, including the supplement, $7. Please send your check or money order to Mets Cookbook, Shea Stadium, Flushing, New York, 11368. If you're a real Mets fan, you won't have any trouble with this curveball from Flying Tigers, who holds the club record for the most shutouts in a single year. You know, there are a lot of air freight companies that'll throw you shutouts, too. Most of them won't even take a swing at a package over 125 pounds. But at Flying Tigers, big shipments are just no big deal. 125 pounds or 125,000. So no matter what size shipment you've got, Flying Tigers will pick it up and deliver it door to door overnight on time, or you don't pay. Flying Tigers guarantees it's on time or it's on us. For additional information, just call 212-632-1111 in New York, and in New Jersey, call 201-961-3600. That's 212-632-1111 in New York, and 201-961-3600 in New Jersey. The most shutouts in a single season in 1968. Jerry Kuzman set the club record with 7. John Matlack tied it in 74.
The Mets take a 5-1 lead into the 5th inning, and here's Bob Murphy.
Bill Gullickson batting against Brent Gaff. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Infield straight away, Mookie shallow and over toward right center against Gullickson. Gully's had 10 hits this year, and a line drive base hit into left center field. Mookie chasing after it. Gullickson is going for second. Here's the throw coming in, and he's in standing with a double. So Gullickson leads off the 5th inning with a 2-base hit. Hard line drive over the head of shortstop Bobby Baylor. There's just no way you can run full speed in the outfield. There's too much water out there. So Gullickson has opened with a double. The batter coming up will be Tim Raines. Final day of the regular season tomorrow. The League Championship Series, or the playoffs, gets underway Tuesday night at Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. In the American League, Wednesday afternoon at Baltimore. All 4 teams in the playoffs, brand new. Raines takes a strike ball on the inside corner. Tim Raines has fouled to left and flied to center. The league leader in stolen bases with 86. He'll win the stolen base title again. Came into the game hitting a .299, now hitting .297. Gaff took over the pitching in the second. Inside high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Brent has a chance to get his first major league victory here this afternoon. In the month he spent with the Mets last year, he was 0-3. Breaking ball, a strike call, 1-2 to Tim Raines. Raines has drawn a lot of walks this year, which certainly helps him as a base stealer. He's 3rd in the league in reaching on walks with 95. Towering pop fly, very short center field. Mookie slashing his way in under it, and he has it for the out. 3rd time in a row Raines has been retired. Seaver got him the first time, and Gaff the next 2. Brian Little, the switch hitting second baseman, comes up.
Little batting .251 on the year. Little as a left-hand hitter batting .263. When he bats right-handed, he's hitting only .171. So he's happy to be up there as a left-hand hitter. Yap working from the stretch. Inside high, it is ball one. Brian Little hit a hard ground ball to first baseman Gary Racich. Seaver broke off the mound to go over and help out of the play, and in doing so strained his lower back. That's why he had to leave. Squib that is going to be foul, grabbed behind the plate by Junior Ortiz. But Tom Seaver can certainly feel good about the year. With a little more run production behind him, things would have been a lot better. I believe that in games the Mets scored 3 runs or more for Seaver this year. He was 8-1 with 5 no decisions. The 1-1 delivery and a bunt attempt that'll go foul off to the left.
It's really a shame the Mets couldn't have got Tom a few more runs this year.
He could have very easily have won 14 or 15 ball games. So at the end of this year, Tom having made his final appearance, 273 Major League victories. Only 170 losses. Imagine that being 103 games over 500. That, my friend, is pitching. One out and one on. Brian Little not satisfied with his footing in the batter's box. Trying to make things a little better. He stands with his feet very close together. Gaff delivers. Hit hard down to first. Base hit down the right field line. Racich made a dive for it. Couldn't get it. Gullickson will score. Little is on second with a run-scoring double. And now it's 5-2. Second time Little has pulled the ball, hit it hard, right down the first baseline. This time Racich made the dive, but he couldn't get it. So a run-scoring double for Brian Little. Expos have a run on doubles by Gullickson and Little. Andre Dawson, the batter. Andre has bounced to short and flied to deep center. Batting .302 on the year, 32 homers, and 112 runs batted in. The pitch to the Hawk, a swing and a miss, strike one. Yeff came right after him with a fastball high and tight. Andre Dawson has 25 stolen bases, has been caught only 10 times. Here is a complete ball player. Fouled upstairs and out of play. It'll land in the load section behind home plate. This will have an unusual opening next year in the National League. They'll have the traditional early opener with Cincinnati. They'll be in Cincinnati. They'll play the first couple of weeks on the road. 2-strike delivery inside and high. Schedule has not been finalized as yet. But the way it's set up right now, the Mets will open against Montreal here at Shea on the 17th of April. High foul pop. Looks like the Mets will open in Cincinnati, then go to Houston, go to Atlanta, go to Chicago, and then come home. Home will certainly look good when we get here. It'll seem like you played half of your road games. The 1-2 delivery, a one hopper hit to second. Giles has it to Gary Racich for the second out.
Better have a good-sized suitcase for that trip.
Yes, you will. The idea, of course, is to play as many games as you can in the warmer weather. They've talked about it for a number of years. Now they're going to try it. 2 outs and a runner on third. Brian Little is on third. He knocked in a run. Cleanup batter Mike Stenhouse, left-handed hitting first baseman, lays off of a slider inside and low.
I guess that would mean that the Pirates, the Cubs, and the Cardinals would open on the West Coast.
I'm sure that's the way it will be. Outside. The Mets usually, when they're on a swing to either Cincinnati, Atlanta, and Houston, or to the California clubs, travel with the Phillies and Expos. Towering foul fly down the left field line, probably out of reach. Hubie to the railing, no play. Lands in the box seats. Montreal will probably get home for a 3-game series, then come here. Expos are the happiest team of all to get into the warm weather at the beginning of the year. They get the most severe weather. Oh, it usually is not that much colder in Montreal than it is in New York. The 2-1 pitch fouled upstairs toward the mezzanine section. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Mike Stenhouse. Mike had a good year at the AAA level playing for Wichita. He has some muscle and there's a lot of pop in his bat. The 2-2 delivery inside and low. Let's have a talented young Ivy Leaguer in Ron Darling, and Stenhouse represents the same for Montreal. Pitching 3-2. High fly hit the left field. Foster ambling back, ranges over, he's under it, grabs it for the out. That retires the side. 1 run on 2 doubles. And a man left on. At the end of 4 1/2, we now have an official ball game. The New York Mets 5, the Montreal Expos 2.
You're listening to News Radio 1460 WWCN Albany. The time is 2:31.
It doesn't matter who wears the pants in your family, because at JCPenney we've got active pants to outfit just about everyone. All in sturdy permanent press polyester and cotton twill with elastic waistband and contrast piping. They're the ideal pants to slip into, and comfort and sporty good looks are what you're after. Little girls and little boys sizes are only $7.99. Big girls and big boys sizes only $8.99. Active pants for juniors are only $9.99, and our active pants for men are only $12.99. Follow the call to action at terrific low prices. You'll also save from 40 to 50% on fashion footwear for the family. We have a great selection of styles from casual to dressy. You'll look great and feel great to the tips of your toes, and you'll save. And of course, you can charge it. Use your JCPenney card, your Visa or MasterCard at JCPenney in Clifton Country Mall, Clifton Park, Latham Circle Mall, Latham, and 911 Central Avenue in Albany. Sale does not include entire stock. Prices are effective through Saturday. On the road, there's more than one way to go. From the contemporary look of a Toyota SR5 sport truck to the hard-working power of a long bed deluxe to the family-style convenience of a roomy motorhome. And Northway Buick Toyota's new discount truck and motorhome center has them all. Yes, when you're talking trucks and motorhomes, there's more than one way to go, but only one place to shop. Northway Buick Toyota, Route 9, Latham. They've got the inventory, they've got the discount, so get up and go.
Last of inning 5 here at Shea Stadium. Bill Gullickson has allowed 5 runs and 8 base hits. Danny Heap leading off against Bill Gullickson. Danny took over for Darryl Strawberry. Darryl had to leave the action when he was struck with a pitch. Caught him on the right leg. Gullickson with a semi-no windup type delivery. Whacked foul behind third, going out of play. We mentioned earlier that this is the day of the presentations that are to be made to the AA award winners, saluting the top players on each of the Mets minor league ball clubs. Pitch to Danny Heap, fouled, out of play. One of the top players in the Carolina League, along with Dwight Gooden, was Lenny Dykstra, who stole over 100 bases. At the end of the inning, Steve Lamar will have a chance to say hello to him. He's been here once before. The 2-strike delivery. Danny Heap lays off. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That fog is not lifting any. It's not really intense. It's not a 3-bar fog, but it's pretty close. Inside and low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody on, nobody out. Last of the 5th inning at Shea. 5-2 New York. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball by Gully, and he strikes out Danny Heap. 1 out and nobody on. George Foster striding to the plate.
George crashed his 28th home run with 2 men on in the first inning, reaching a 90 runs batted in. This year has been a much better year for Foster than last year when he was new to the team and the city. Umbrellas are popping open now. Little rain is falling. Swing and a miss, strike one. I don't know how you feel. I'd like to play 2 here today and only 1 tomorrow. Now the pitch on the way, foul to straight back toward the press level. But if the second game here today should be rained out, there would be 2 tomorrow. Gullickson getting a sign from Gary Carter. 2-strike delivery, foul behind third. It goes out of play. New York 5 runs, 8 hits and 1 error. Montreal 2 runs, 6 hits and no errors. It isn't raining hard, but it is raining. Lights are on. They have been on the entire ball game. Gullickson getting a sign from Gary Carter. And again, the 2-strike delivery and a high pop fly to shortstop. Easy play for Angel Salazar on the rim of the outfield grass. He has it. So 2 outs and nobody on, and Gary Racich will come up. We'll pause for station identification on the New York Mets Baseball Network.
It's 2:36 on News Radio 1460. It's WWCN Albany.
Bob Murphy with Steve Lamar. Last of the 5th inning at Shea. 5-2 New York. The pitch to Racich. He jammed him. It's popped foul back toward the visiting dugout. Gary Carter tiptoes over. He has no play. It drops into the box seats. As we mentioned a moment ago, at the end of the inning, we'll have a chance to say hello to Lenny Dykstra, a Californian who made a big splash in the Carolina League this year, playing for the Lynchburg Mets. Sam Perlazzo managed that ball club, a young man also on his way up. Gullickson's pitch hit foul down the right field line, no play. Gullickson is working ahead of just about every batter now. Mets scored 4 of their 5 runs in the first inning. Fog is not so bad that the planes are not flying. And a breaking ball in the dirt. It struck Gary Racich on the right leg. He'll go to first base. Gary Racich, a hit batsman. The ball has to be slippery today and hard to handle. It's raining now, and if it rains much more, it very well could be that the umpires will say, hey, this field is too wet for a second game today. But we won't try to make that decision for him. Eddie Vargo is the senior umpire in the National League, and he's here today. That would be his call. Bobby Baylor takes the fastball over the outside corner for a strike call. 2 outs and 1 on. Racich on first. Here's the pitch on the way. Hit late, a foul ball back behind first base. May land right in an umbrella. Jimmy Fry and Bobby Valentine on the coaching lines. Bill Monbouquet works in the dugout with Frank Howard. Gene Doosan handling the bullpen. That bullpen is a pretty wet area. But, of course, they can always go inside and use the cage to get ready. Now Gullickson set. 2-strike delivery. Breaking ball in the dirt handled by Gary Carter. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Montreal a half game behind Pittsburgh in the National League East, hoping to overhaul the Pirates and get second place money. Inside and high. Bobby Baylor hitting the dirt to get out of the way. Bobby has already grown his winter beard. He's ready for the hunting season. After he hunts in Colorado, he's heading for Oregon and a hunting trip with Wally Backman.
They'll be looking for elk. Gullickson with a count of 2-2. Curve fouled back toward the screen. That's out of play. And it remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mets have already had Tom Seaver and Darryl Strawberry forced out of this game due to injuries. I don't think either injury was very serious, but certainly the kind that you will not take a chance on a very wet field like this. Baylor with the bat cocked. Ground ball hammered toward the hole. Base hit going into left field. Racich will stop at second. 2 outs and 2 on. That is the 9th hit of the game for the New York Mets.
Second baseman, Brian Giles.
Brian Giles coming up. Brian 1 for 2, a run-scoring single in the 3rd. His base hit brought home Gary Racich. The Mets win this ball game. They will be playing Montreal even for the year. 8 wins and 8 losses. Mets played Pittsburgh very tough. They played Montreal very tough. They did not play well against Philadelphia. Gullickson eyes the runners, then delivers low and away. Gary Carter blocks it. 1 ball and no strikes. Mets were really only intimidated by one team in their own division. That was the Philadelphia Phils. Gary Carter wants to go out and talk to Bill Gullickson. We have an official ball game, and it is raining. Pittsburgh and Philadelphia with a later start this afternoon, I believe, for television. The lead runner on second is Gary Racich. Bobby Baylor leading off first. Giles waiting, missing high with a fastball. 2 balls and no strikes. Brian resetting himself in the batter's box. Mets have 5 runs on 9 hits. Montreal 2 runs on 6 hits. Here's the pitch on the way. Swing and a bouncing ball toward the hole. Cut off by Wallach. He throws to Brian Little. Force play, and the inning is over. For New York in the 5th inning, no runs. A hit and 2 were left on. At the end of 5 at Shea, the Mets 5 and the Expos 2.
Some things speak for themselves. St. Louis.
Well, we're happy to have with us the Doubleday Award winners, the top players at each of the minor league farm clubs, and one of them is Lenny Dykstra, who was the most valuable player in the Carolina League this year, set a league record with more than 100 stolen bases, hit .358, a big year for you, Len. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. It felt real good to go out this year and put some good numbers on the board because, you know, the organization has a lot of good young outfielders, and that's what I need to do.
They call the Carolina League the fastest A-League in baseball, so I know you were not batting against any easy pitchers down there.
Yeah, it is a tough league. 3 guys hit over 300 there this year. Another guy on our team, Carry-On, hit .335, and another guy hit .302, and that was it. You know, it's a tough league.
Back in May, you were here to play a Carolina League game at Shea Stadium. I'll bet you'd like to play a lot more games here.
Yeah, I would. You know, this is the place to be. There's no other place to be but here. Minor leagues is one thing. You got to try and get out of there, and you got to try and get here to stay.
Len, thank you very much, and congratulations on a big year.
All right, thank you.
Len Dykstra, the Lynchburg Mets.
So our congratulations to Len Dykstra. Len, great going. Dykstra will go back to his home in California and be thinking about another baseball campaign coming up. This has been an outstanding year, maybe the best ever in the history of the New York Mets for their minor league ball clubs. Terry Francona batting against Brent Gaff. Line drive to right field, base hit. Taken on one hop by Danny Heap. So Francona a hard single to right, leading the 6th inning. It brings to the plate Gary Carter. Gary has 1 for 2, a single to left in the 4th. Tim Wallach and Brian Little each have an RBI for Montreal. That's with a 3-run lead, 5-2. I believe we have warm-up action for New York in the cage or under the stadium. Towering foul pop. Is there a play? Ortiz all the way to the railing, can't reach in and get it. Too far out of his reach. Well, this Bud's for the Mets. Win or lose, you give us a lot of thrills. Here's to you, the king of beers. Bill Verdon has Jeff Reardon up in the Montreal bullpen. Gaff working from the stretch. Ground ball knocked down by Brett Gaff. He'll pick it up, throw to first, 1 down. And the ball stuck in his glove. He had a sure double play. But he had to come off the mound, go after it, and then make the play to first. Gary Carter has been thrown out. The batter is third baseman Tim Wallach. Francona leading away from second, and a towering foul pop, probably out of play. Racich over for a look. That's headed for the umbrellas. Lenny Dykstra stole 105 bases. That is running.
Boy, we're going to hit nearly 360.
I was going to say, if you hit 358 and you can steal bases, you're on base a lot and have a lot of opportunities. It'll be a bit of a traffic jam with those young outfield prospects before long. Low and away. Young outfielders like Lenny Dykstra and Herm Winningham and Terry Blocker. Fouled back on the screen. Mookie's kid brother, John Wilson, had a good year in the lower minor league system.
John Christensen. Some good ones around.
Now the 1-2 delivery. Ground ball toward the hole, cut off by Hubie. He holds the runner, throws to first. That retires Tim Wallach. 2 men away in the visiting 6th inning. Angel Salazar, the shortstop, 1 for 2. A single in the 2nd.
It's interesting to look at Lenny Dykstra's career record. He spent a couple of years in the South Atlantic League, never hit 300. This year they promote him to Lynchburg of the Carolina League, and he has this big year. Really comes on.
That happens so often with a young player who has talent. He'll struggle for a couple of years, and then it comes together for him. Swing and a foul tip, strike 1. One of the main things a minor league manager has to do, he has to know how to use psychology and not let the young players who are away from home for the first time and getting down on themselves and feeling sad, not let them get that way. To remind them they've got to have a positive approach and keep going. And all of a sudden, why, it kind of comes together. High and away to Angel Salazar, 1 ball and 1 strike. Young Sam Perlaza must have done quite a managing job with that Lynchburg Mets team. Last year he managed to believe it. Little Falls. And a drive to left center field. Mookie on the run. Makes the catch. Mookie cruising into high gear with the pedal to the metal and picking it off with a backhand stab. And the inning is over. No runs, a hit, and a man left. After 5.5 at Shea, the Mets 5, the Expos 2.
Have you heard the word? HWD funding gives you more in a mortgage.
More?
More types of mortgages with low rates and money-saving extras you won't find anywhere else.
How's that?
For starters, a low 9 3/4% initial interest rate with an annual percentage rate of 9.99.
Really?
It's yours with a manageable adjustable rate mortgage from HWD. At this low rate, you'll be able to buy more house for your money and get the dream home you've always wanted.
Ooh.
All right.
Will your lender design your mortgage to be assumable or even let you take your mortgage with you when you move?
You're kidding.
On many mortgages, HWD gives you a choice. A new portable mortgage feature. So if you move, you can transfer your mortgage to your new home and save closing costs. Or a new assumable mortgage feature, which makes your home easier to sell.
Fantastic.
Now you're talking. And our friendly mortgage experts will explain all your options to you in simple English. No confusing terms.
Sounds great.
Convenience, we'll come to your broker's office or even your home. Sold! So ask your realtor about HWD's new low-interest manageable adjustable mortgage. Or give us a call.
Call HWD Funding toll-free 1-800-462-4656. Member FSLIC, an equal housing lender.
Last winter, Mall Airways helped open the door to Canadian business with the only nonstop service between Albany and Toronto.
Let's get together.
Business people in the Capital District and Toronto have praised Mall Airways for developing relations between our cities. And now Mall Airways is pleased to announce new service to Canada that will open the doors of opportunity just a bit wider. Beginning October 3rd, Mall Airways announces new service to Montreal, Quebec.
Let's get together.
Mall will offer 2 nonstop flights every business day with flight times scheduled to meet your business needs. Now Canada is easier to reach by air from the Capital District. Montreal is just an hour away and Toronto just an hour and a half. And if you're traveling to other cities throughout Canada, Mall's nonstop service to Toronto and Montreal allows you to make convenient connections north, east, or west. For more information about Mall Airways' new service to Montreal, call 869-2218. At Mall Airways, we mean business in Canada for you.
Let's get together.
And the pitch on the way. This is over. A strike to Junior. 1 ball and 1 strike. Junior is 0 for 2. Twice has flied out. Last of the 6th inning, 5-2 New York. First game of a doubleheader. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Most of the fans watching the game looking out from under an umbrella. The 1-2 delivery, swing and a miss, struck him out. He fooled Junior with his motion, got him to go for a breaking ball way outside. 3rd strikeout for Bill Gullickson. Here's Brent Gaff. Brent batting for the 3rd time. He has popped to short and struck out. Brent pitching well in long relief so far today. He's already turned in his long relief stint. Now the pitch thrown by Gullickson. Tremendous pop-up out near the mound. Wallach, the 3rd baseman, is finally under it. Midway between the mound and the plate, he grabs it for the out. He had all the time he would ever need to be under that. So 2 outs and nobody on in the last of the 6th inning. Mookie stalling for time to let Gaff get back into the dugout and dry off. Mookie hitting .278, 2 for 3 here today, a single and a double. 53 stolen bases, 5 fewer than he had last year and setting a Mets club record. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Mookie will spend probably most of the winter in the New York area, staying in his New Jersey home. The 1-strike delivery, off-speed pitch fouled away. So Gullickson with a 2-strike count on Mookie Wilson. Tough break for Tom Seaver today. He had so many games this year, he pitched without any runs. Today, the Mets got him 4 in the 1st inning, but he strained his lower back covering first. Breaking ball in the dirt, 1 ball, 2 strikes. If we play 2 here today, tomorrow Mike Therese hopefully will be able to make the start and wind things up. The 1-2 delivery fouled out of play. Big Mike, his last start, pitched awfully well. Went 8 innings, probably would have pitched 9, but Dave Parker hit a line drive that struck him right on the muscle of his right arm. Mookie waiting and a ground ball to second base. Brian Little has the play. Sidearm throw over to Stenhouse. The inning is over. Good inning for Bill Gullickson. Nothing across at the end of 6 at Shea Stadium. The Mets 5 and the Expos 2.
If you smell what might be exhaust fumes, head for your AP muffler dealer. He's in the service business, and he's good at it. If that smell is oil fumes, he'll fix it. Should you need a muffler, he'll install one that's engineered specifically for your car, because that's the way AP makes them. Free exhaust system inspection anytime. See your AP dealer for quality and service.
In Connecticut, see Fair Auto Supply in Fairfield, Ansonia, Bridgeport, Westport, Danbury, Stratford, Milford, also Brewster, New York, the better auto parts stores.
Know the perfect way to wind down after the 9-to-5 grind? Simple. Settle back with your favorite team and ease into your favorite beer. Budweiser.
It's Bud for you. There's no one else who does it quite the way you do. So here's to you. You know it isn't only what you say, it's what you do. It's Bud for you.
Yeah, there's nothing quite like that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser. So relax and remember, it's not whether your team wins or loses. It's what you team up with during the game.
It's Bud for you. For all you do, the king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you, hot baths and ice-cold Bud.
For all you do.
This Bud's for you. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
We go to the 7th inning. Bill Verdon is putting up a pinch hitter for Bill Gullickson. Steve Lamar will tell you all about it. The pinch batter is left-handed hitting Brad Mills. Mills will be followed by Tim Raines and then Brian Little. In the top of the 7th, Brent Gaff with the first pitch bounced back through the box, rolling out towards second. Barehanded by Baylor, and he throws to first, but Racich could not hold on. The ball was thrown down in the dirt. Gary came up with it, but juggled it a bit just as Brad Mills crossed the bag. That is going to go as an infield hit. It was bounced through the middle. Gaff deflected it a bit, I believe, out towards second base. Baylor came in and barehanded the ball, threw in the dirt. Racich bobbled it at first base. Infield hit for Brad Mills, the pinch hitter. Now, here's Tim Raines. Raines has been up 3 times today. He's 0 for 3. Has flied twice to center and fouled out to George Foster, the left fielder. Raines, the stolen base leader in the National League. He has stolen 86 bases. Far out in front of Alan Wiggins of San Diego. Bouncing ball up the middle. Diving stop by Baylor, but the ball rolls out of his glove. Rolls out behind second base. It's retrieved by Giles. That will be a base hit for Tim Raines. Carlos Diaz and Doug Sisk removing the cover off the mound out of the bullpen, and they will both start to get ready. Beautiful stop by Baylor. A diving play out behind second base, but the ball rolled out of his glove and moved out behind second base. Into the outfield grass. Giles retrieved it. Mills is on at second. Raines at first. And the hitter is Brian Little. Little was 4 for 4 in the Expos' last ball game Wednesday night in St. Louis. He is 1 for 3 today. First pitch from Gaff is over for a strike. Little doubled down the right field line to drive in a run in the 5th inning. He's also reached on an error and grounded out. Pitched a little, fouled away off third base and back into the crowd. It's 0-2. Couple of infield hits, and the Expos have 2 men on in the 7th inning. Nobody out. That's out in front of Montreal, 5-2. Andre Dawson is waiting on deck. Here's the stretch of the pitch. Line down the right field line by Little, but it's going foul. And it drops out in the corner in right field. Still 0-2 to Brian Little, who is coming back to the plate. And as he does, we'll pause for station identification on the New York Mets Baseball Network.
Steve Lamar with Bob Murphy at Shea Stadium in New York. 2 men on, nobody out. Brian Little, the batter for the Expos. The count is 0-2. Brooks at the cut of the grass at third as the delivery is made, and it's bounced past Gary Racich and down the right field line. Coming on in to score is Brad Mills. To third, Range. To second, Brian Little. And it's a 5-3 game.
He seems to do that every time at bat.
He bounced it down the first base line. Racich tried to make the backhanded play, could not. And rolled down the line, allowing Mills to score. Raines is now at third. Little to second base with his second straight double. And a run batted in, and Frank Howard has gone to the mound. Brian Little's 34th run batted in of the season. And now the Expos have the tying run at second base in Little. Raines is at third, and Andre Dawson is coming up with nobody out.
Andre Dawson.
First base is open here. Mike Stenhouse scheduled to hit after Dawson, and then Terry Francona. Dawson is 0 for 3. Here's the pitch to him. Bouncer foul off to the left of the plate, strike one.
All three of the ground balls hit for base hits so far here in the top of the seventh came awfully close to being played into an out.
None of them were, and the Expos have scored a run and have runners at second and third with nobody out. Here's the pitch. Pop foul off of first base, and this one is out of play. It's 0-2 now. Dawson batting with 2 men on, no one out, and Stenhouse waiting on deck. The pitch by Gadd. This is popped up. Middle of the infield, and Brian Giles at second base wants it near the bag. He puts it away for the first out of the inning. Gaff gets Dawson on a pop-up.
We will get Carlos Diaz now to pitch to the left-hand hitter. As a matter of fact, Stenhouse is a left-hand batter, so is Francona, so manager Frank Howard wants his left-hand relief pitcher.
Brent Gaff pitched 5 1/3 innings. He gets a nice hand as he goes off to the dugout and tips his cap to the crowd. Gaff, 5 1/3 innings pitched. He gave up 10 base hits. He's been charged with 3 runs and is still responsible for the 2 men on. Little at second and Raines at third base. Gaff walked no one, and he struck out 1. So the pitching change being made, and Carlos Diaz is coming on from the bullpen.
News Radio 1460 is WWCN Albany. It's 3:02.
Bob Forsch, who pitched a no-hitter his last outing, is on the mound for the Cardinals, and Don Schulze, a rookie who has started twice against the Mets late in the year, is pitching for Chicago. Cincinnati and Houston are going at it. Reds 5 and the Astros 4 in the 4th inning. Madden has been KO'd and Nepper is on in relief. Pastore is still pitching for the Reds. Giants and Dodgers at Dodger Stadium. Mark Davis against Bert Hooton. The Dodgers host the opening of the championship series Tuesday night with Philadelphia. Pittsburgh playing at Philadelphia, nothing as yet. It'll be Jose De Leon against Kevin Gross. Pirates are in second place, but only a half game ahead of Montreal. Atlanta bowed out last night. They lost and the Dodgers won, so that made the Dodgers the champion. Lynn Barker against Tim Lawler this afternoon. In the American League, the Yankees will play a night game at Baltimore. Bob Shirley and Scotty McGregor will pitch. Scotty will be going for his 19th win of the year. Milwaukee got 3 off Jack Morris in the first inning at Detroit. Morris, a 20-game winner, going for number 21. Toronto 4, Minnesota 1. They've played 4.5. Nothing on Cleveland, Boston. They may have a rain delay. Kansas City will play a doubleheader at Oakland. California at Texas, and Chicago at Seattle. So that's a complete rundown on the baseball scoreboard. Carlos Diaz on to pitch for New York now. Anybody's ball game. Umbrellas are still all opened up. The rain has been pretty consistent. As we mentioned earlier, the playing conditions are certainly not good. Now we're ready to go, so here again is Steve Lamar.
With Diaz brought into the game, Bill Verdon has made a percentage move, going to a right-handed batter. Jim Wolford will bat for Mike Stenhouse. Wolford is batting .277, but as a pinch hitter, he has hit .355 with 11 out of 31. Wolford acquired during the offseason from the San Francisco Giants for a first baseman outfielder by the name of Chris Smith, who's played well in the last month of the season for the Giants after being called up from Phoenix. Diaz ready. Here's the first pitch to Wolford. And a check swing foul rolling out of play over toward the New York dugout. Strike one. Brent Gaff going 5 1/3 innings in relief of Tom Seaver.
Junior Ortiz caught that foul tip on his right hand. He's looking at his thumbnail now.
Ortiz went out toward the mound. Diaz came down to check on him, and now Junior coming back behind the plate. Diaz working in relief here after Gaff went 5 1/3. 2 men on in scoring position for Montreal, 1 out in the 7th. Expos have scored a run on 3 hits in the inning. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Wolford. And it is inside and low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Mills, Raines, and Brian Little have had base hits in the inning. Little is at second base, Raines at third. 1 out. 1-1 pitch now by Diaz. Hit in the air to left field, deep. Foster going back. He's at the edge of the track. On the track, he makes the catch for the out. Raines will tag and score. Little remains at second base. Sacrifice fly and a run batted in for Jim Wolford. It is a 5-4 ball game. And coming to the plate is Terry Francona, who's had 2 hits today in 3 times at bat. Wolford driving in his 14th run of the season. Makes it a 5-4 ball game. The left-handed hitting Terry Francona at the plate against left-hander Carlos Diaz. Expos have the tying run at second, 2 men out. Diaz delivers, and it's swung on and missed. Strike one.
A month ago, Tim Raines of Montreal seemed to be so far behind Dale Murphy at runs scored, there was no way he could catch him. But by scoring a moment ago, he now has 131 runs, the same number as Dale Murphy of Atlanta.
He caught him. 0-1 pitch now to Francona. Weak swing and a foul ball coming back behind the plate. 0-2. Last year, Andre Dawson set a Montreal record for runs scored in a season. He scored 107. That record lasted 1 year. Raines wiped it out this year. 0-2. And the pitch by Diaz. Pop foul off of third base. It'll be out of play as Hubie comes to the railing. But he had no play. Still 2 strikes to Terry Francona. Francona getting a chance to play with Warren Cromartie out of the lineup with a back problem. Francona has hit about .340 in the last 22 games. Pitch to him is low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Mets have had the lead in the ball game since the last of the first inning when they scored 4 runs, 3 of them on a home run by George Foster. But it is now 5-4. Diaz trying to protect a 1-run lead. Junior Ortiz now will go out to the mound for a brief conversation with Carlos Diaz. Terry Francona is the hitter. 1-2 the count. Francona out of the University of Arizona, where he played for former Major League infielder Jerry Kindle. He is set, so is Diaz. The 1-2 pitch is lined to Racich. He's got it, and the inning's over. Francona lines to the first baseman. 2 runs in the inning. There were 3 base hits. 1 man left. After 6.5 innings, Mets 5, Expos 4.
If your car needs a tune-up, Rainer Auto Parts in Manans and Motorcraft have a deal for you. Buy Motorcraft regular spark plugs at $1.30 each and receive a 25-cent per plug factory rebate. Resistor plugs are slightly higher. While applying for your rebate, you'll also be eligible to win one of 6 great Ford or Mercury cars. Let the experts at Rainer Auto Parts help you select the right part at the right price for your car or truck. Motorcraft, a name you can depend on. Rainer Auto Parts at 12 Broadway, Manans. Call 465-3301.
Group Contact Lens Plan has quality specialty lenses for you at affordable prices. Group Contact of Latham offers you lenses for astigmatism, bifocal lenses, and the Bosch & Lomb Extended Wear Soft Contact Lenses, eyewear for work, play or rest. Bosch & Lomb Extended Wear lenses offer incredible soft lens comfort all day and all night. Extended wear means you won't have to worry about daily care. In fact, many people will be able to wear them for up to 30 days without removing them. And all the while, you'll be enjoying the natural frame-free appearance, the comfort, and the excellent vision of a soft contact lens. The Bosch & Lomb Extended Wear Soft Contact Lens at Group Contact Lens Plan in Latham. See Group Contact for other specialty lenses, quality eyewear with no compromise in value. So take good care of your eyes at Group Contact Lens Plan, 1202 Troy Schenectady Road in the Plaza 7 office building in Latham.
You're listening to News Radio 1460, the official New York Mets baseball headquarters in the Capital District.
Relief pitcher Jeff Reardon takes over for Montreal in the bottom of the 7th. Jim Walford stays in the game. He will play right field. Terry Francona moves to first base. Reardon will pitch to Hubie Brooks, Danny Heath, and George Foster. Reardon's first delivery is a curveball that misses ball 1. Reardon pitching in his 65th game of 1983. And the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. 1 ball and 1 strike. Reardon has won 7, lost 8, and has recorded 21 saves. The pitch. Swung on and missed. 1-2. Bill Gullickson, the Montreal starter, pitched 6 innings, allowed 5 runs and 9 base hits. Breaking ball popped up out behind second. Moving back is Brian Little, and he puts it away for the out. Hubie Brooks is out of there, and Danny Heath is coming up. Danny took over in the 2nd inning for Darryl Strawberry, who started in right field. Darryl left after being hit by a pitch and scoring a run in the bottom of the 1st inning. Heath is 0 for 2. He's grounded out and struck out. The pitch inside and low to Heath, ball 1. Montreal bullpen has recorded 34 saves this year. Reardon has 21 of them. Heath started to go and held up. The pitch was up high. 2 balls and no strikes.
Montreal lost to veteran Woody Fryman very early in the year, right at the beginning. That's one of the things probably that hurt them this year.
High from Reardon to Danny Heath. 3 balls and no strikes. Woody Fryman has gone back to Ewing, Kentucky. He had an elbow injury which sidelined him. Pitch to Heath is grounded sharply foul past Jim Fry.
After they lost Woody, they went to Dan Schatzeder, and Dan had a pretty good year for them. But if they had all 3 of those guys healthy, it would have meant more to them.
Sure would have. Late in the year, Bob James came on to pitch very well out of the bullpen. High to Heath, ball 4. And he draws the walk with 1 out in the 7th. The starting pitcher, Bill Gullickson, did not walk a batter in 6 innings, although he hit 2 batters. Reardon has issued a 1-out walk in the 7th, bringing George Foster up there. Foster, a 3-run homer in the 1st inning, 1 for 3 today. George now has 28 home runs and 90 runs batted in. So he has improved on his offensive statistics of a year ago. Has 20 RBIs more than he did last year. The pitch inside and high, ball 1. And 15 more home runs. Foster has driven in 13 runs in the last 16 New York ball games. Hitting here against Jeff Reardon, 1 on, 1 out, bottom of the 7th. The pitch. Breaking ball away, 2 balls and no strikes. Walt Terrell is scheduled to pitch the 2nd game against Steve Rogers. Mets leading 5-4 in game 1. And Reardon catches the inside corner. It's 2 balls and a strike to George Foster. For New York in the 7th inning. Here's Reardon's pitch. Swung on and missed. 2-2. Reardon with 21 saves. Greg Minton, Al Holland, and Lee Smith are the only National League relievers with more saves than Reardon. Lee Smith, the league leader, with 29. Pitch by Reardon. That one misses high and away, and it's 3-2. He, of course, is not in a save situation here. Expos trailing 5-4 in the 7th. Danny Heath, the runner at first, he drew a walk. 1 man out, full count to George Foster. Now Reardon to the belt, his pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Got him with a fastball. Reardon's first strikeout. 2 men gone in the 7th. Here's Gary Racich. Gary's been on base 3 times. He has singled twice, and he has been hit by a pitch. Reardon from the stretch delivers, and it is lined down the first base line, and it drops just there. Rolls out toward the railing. Racich going to 2nd. Heap around 3rd. His stop sign goes up. He slips down. The ball comes into Carter. They have him in a rundown throw to Wallach. Back to Carter. He puts the tag on Heap, and the inning's over. Valentine put up the stop sign a little bit late. Heap was barreling around 3rd, and as he tried to stop, he slipped and went down in that goo around 3rd base, and they had him in the rundown. So the inning is over. No runs, 1 base hit in the inning, and 1 man left. At the end of 7, Mets 5, Expos 4.
Even if you weren't born lucky,
Get lucky with Lucky 7.
even if you weren't around when Lucky Stars were being passed out,
Get lucky with Lucky 7.
and even if you never had a terrific nickname like Lucky Lindy,
Ooh, Lucky 7.
now there's a chance to turn your luck around with Lucky Sevens, the new instant game from New York's lottery.
Win thousands with Lucky 7. Win $1 million with Lucky 7. Get lucky with Lucky 7.
For just $1, you could get really lucky and win $1,000 instantly, or get luckier still and win $5,000 right on the spot.
Get lucky with Lucky 7.
And maybe, just maybe, you'll hit the big-time luck and win $1 million in the Instant Lottery year-end bonus drawing. So come on, test your luck.
Get lucky with Lucky 7.
The new 7th anniversary instant game from New York's lottery. Play it for all it's worth.
Tomorrow, the final day of the regular baseball campaign. Single game starting at 1:35. Mike Therese and Charlie Lee are the pitchers. If we do not get a second game in today, and of course then it would become a 1:05 doubleheader. Next year, the New York Mets will have a much later opener at home. They'll open against Montreal probably on the 17th of April after traveling to 4 cities.
For the Montreal Expos, catcher Gary Carter.
8th inning at Shea Stadium. Gary Carter will lead off for Montreal against Carlos Diaz. The rundown play with Danny Heap thrown out in the 7th inning went 9-3-5-2. Wolford to Francona, to Wallach to Carter, and Heap was out.
Third base coach Bobby Valentine waiting until the last moment, wanting to score the run, then realizing he couldn't. Gave him the stop sign, but he slipped on the wet grass.
Pitch is inside to Gary Carter. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Gary is 1 for 3. Now the pitch. Ground ball toward third. Hubie with a nice pick. Here's the throw. A little high, but Racich comes down with it. 1 down. Hubie had to short hop the ball at third base. Made the play and threw out Carter. Tim Wallach coming up now. He's 0 for 2 with a scoring fly ball. His drive in his 70th run of the year back in the 2nd inning. He was robbed of an extra base hit by Hubie Brooks back in the 4th inning. Hubie making a diving stop behind the bag at third. Tim Wallach up there. Here's the pitch by Carlos Diaz. Inside, ball 1. Tom Seaver started, but left after an inning with a lower back strain. Brent Gaff pitched 5 1/3. Diaz has pitched an inning in relief. The pitch by Carlos, low, 2-0. Expos drew a lot of people at home in Montreal this year. 2.3 million coming into Olympic Stadium. 2-0 pitch is hit in the air to left field, deep. Foster going back, but he's going to have a play on the warning track. He's got it for the out. Wallach flies to deep left. 2 up, 2 down in the 8th inning. And Angel Salazar will be the hitter. He's had 1 for 3. Mookie Wilson made a beautiful running catch in left center field and a drive hit by Salazar back in the 6th inning. Salazar, the young shortstop, right-handed hitter. Here's the pitch. It's high and away, ball 1. 5 runs, 10 hits for the Mets. 4 runs, 10 hits for Montreal. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Low and away. 2 balls and no strikes. Salazar has hit .206 since coming up from Wichita, where he had a good year playing in the American Association. 2-0 delivery. Swing and a miss. 2-1.
Steve, you mentioned Bob James and how well he has pitched late in the year out of that bullpen. They now have him warming up.
Big guy and a hard thrower.
Started out as a catcher, I believe.
I think he did. Funny, the Expos gave up on him. He wound up with Detroit, and Montreal reacquired him. Fouled away by Salazar. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody on, 2 men out. We're in the top of the 8th inning. First game of a doubleheader, making up the rain out of last night. Carlos Diaz has rubbed up a new baseball. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the count. Here's the pitch by Carlos. Strike 3 call. Salazar called out on strikes, and the inning is over. Diaz has retired the 5 men he has faced. Nothing across in the 8th inning. In the middle of the 8th, Mets 5, Expos 4.
For extended And a sports section that has been selected as one of America's best. Just pick up the newspaper that keeps you big league coverage. Newsday Sports. It's a winner every day.
Eighth inning with Bob Baylor leading off for New York. The former Met Jeff Reardon with a pitch. And it's over for a strike. Baylor has had a couple of hits today. 2 for 3. Mets with 10 hits. Montreal with 10. New York leading 5-4 in the home 8th inning. And the pitch, a curveball bounced to third. Wallach was on the grass. He gloves it and throws to Francona for the out. Baylor out on a bouncer to third baseman Tim Wallach. Now Brian Giles, who is 1 for 3 with a run batted in. The Dodgers wrapped it up in the National League West last night. The Braves lost in San Diego. The Dodgers beat the Giants. So Los Angeles will host Philadelphia in the first game of the playoffs Tuesday night at Dodger Stadium. Pitch to Giles, high, ball 1. The American League Championship Series begins Wednesday afternoon in Baltimore. The Orioles and the White Sox. 1-0 pitch. Fastball, pop foul, and out of play. Back of the plate, 1 ball, 1 strike. Brian Giles has driven in 9 runs in his last 9 games. Hitting here with nobody on, 1 out. And the pitch, a curveball, a beauty. Over for a strike called, 1-2. Junior Ortiz waiting on deck. Bouncing ball hit by Giles toward third. In comes Wallach. He has it and throws for the out.
Well, that was a good-looking fielding play by Montreal third baseman Tim Wallach, especially trying to run full speed on that slippery grass. And his throw, which was made on the run, could not have been better.
2 men gone in the 8th. Junior Ortiz up there looking for his first hit of the day. He's 0 for 3. The line by Reardon, and the delivery is over. Strike 1 call. That's leading 5-4. Last of the 8th inning at Shea. And the pitch, pop foul and out of play off to the right. 2 strikes to Ortiz. Junior getting a chance to play. Has had a good second half for New York. Hitting nearly 300 since the All-Star break. And he pops 1 foul and out of play again. No balls, 2 strikes. Seaver and Gullickson were the starters in this one. Seaver went out after an inning. Gullickson pitched 6. Gave up 5 runs. Pitches in the third. 1-2 the count. The pitchers of record would be Brent Gaff and Gullickson. Gaff pitched 5 1/3 innings in relief of Seaver. Breaking ball, and Ortiz trying to check the swing, and he did. Pitch was away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody on, 2 men out. We're in the 8th inning. Now the 2-2 pitch by Reardon. Breaking ball called strike 3, and the inning's over. That will be strikeout number 2 for Jeff Reardon in 2 innings. No runs, no hits, nobody left as the Mets go 1-2-3. And we'll go to the 9th with a score. Mets 5, Expos 4.
At Sawyer Sporting Goods in Clifton Park, we're footing the bill so you'll save more. Back to school can be enjoyable when you save on quality footwear at Sawyer's. Buy children's shoes such as Nike Scouts, regularly $19, now only $15. Or the traditional high canvas shoe by Nike is only $15. For the football and soccer athlete, there's the popular Nike Turf King for $14. You'll never save more on Nike footwear than now. At Sawyer Sporting Goods, exit 9 off the Northway on Route 146 in Clifton Park.
Have you heard the word? HWD funding gives you more in a mortgage.
More?
More types of mortgages with low rates and money-saving extras you won't find anywhere else.
How's that?
For starters, a low 9.75% initial interest rate with an annual percentage rate of 9.99.
Really?
It's yours with a manageable adjustable rate mortgage from HWD. At this low rate, you'll be able to buy more house for your money and get the dream home you've always wanted.
Ooh.
All right.
Will your lender design your mortgage to be assumable or even let you take your mortgage with you when you move?
You're kidding.
On many mortgages, HWD gives you a choice. A new portable mortgage feature. So if you move, you can transfer your mortgage to your new home and save closing costs. Or a new assumable mortgage feature, which makes your home easier to sell.
Fantastic.
Now you're talking.
And our friendly mortgage experts will explain all your options to you in simple English. No confusing terms.
Sounds great.
Convenience, we'll come to your broker's office or even your home.
Sold.
So ask your realtor about HWD's new low-interest manageable adjustable mortgage. Or give us a call.
Call HWD Funding toll-free 1-800-462-4656. Member FSLIC, an equal housing lender.
This is News Radio 1460. Time now is 3:31.
Any publication, reproduction, or use of the descriptions and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the New York Mets and Leisure Productions Company is prohibited. Announcers on today's broadcast were approved and contracted for by Doubleday Sports Incorporated. Ninth inning now, and Bob Murphy.
Former New York Met Mike Vail is the pinch hitter. Batting for Jeff Reardon, we go now to the 9th inning. Carlos Diaz trying to save a 1-run lead. Diaz, the slender left-hander, around with the arm and a grounder foul. Hit hard, but down the left field line. Jeff Reardon, 2 innings of relief, allowed no runs, only 1 hit. Jeff walked 1 and struck out 2. 5-4 New York. Top of the 9th inning, first game of a doubleheader. Tim Raines will be up next, and then Brian Little. Now the pitch on the way to Vail. A little bit high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Mike hitting .244 with the Expos. Doug Sisk is on call at the New York Mets bullpen. The 1-1 pitch, breaking ball, a slider over the inside corner for a strike. Now it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Mets can hold on and win this one. They'll be 8-8 with Montreal this year. Pitching 1-2. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Vail has been fanned by Carlos Diaz. Second strikeout for Carlos. Now the leadoff batter, Tim Raines, will come up. Raines will be batting right-handed. He has marvelous balance as a switch hitter. Batting .301 left-handed and .293 right-handed. When he scored a run in the game today, it enabled him to tie Atlanta's Dale Murphy for the league lead in runs scored. They have both scored 131 runs. Hubie Brooks playing almost on the third base bag. High and away, it's ball 1. You can't play back against Raines or he'll bunt his way on. So Hubie is perched almost on the bag at third. Junior Ortiz setting the target. High and away, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Raines has not walked in the game today. He is third in the National League in walks. Mike Schmidt is the leader. Diaz delivers 2-0. Ball 3, 3-0. I wonder, Steve, would he try to steal on this muddy track?
I wonder. Boy.
He would represent the tying run if he got to second base. Brian Little, who has hit the ball very hard today, is the on-deck batter, but I don't think he'll hit. And it's over, a strike call.
What do you think he might go if he gets on?
He might. Although that infield is awfully slow, you could slip and fall down. 3-2 delivery. Strike 3 called. Tim Raines called out. Or was that the second one? Beg your pardon. That's the second one. It was 3-0, then 3-1. That makes it 3-2. Raines started to go toward first base. My mistake, I apologize. Now it's 3-2. Mike Fuentes is on deck to be a pinch hitter. Now the 3-2 pitch. Foul tip. He tried to get his bat out of the way, and he couldn't pull it off. Montreal trailing Pittsburgh by a half game in the battle for second place. Mike Fuentes is waiting on deck. He's going to hit for Brian Little. 1 out and nobody on. Ninth inning, 3-2 to Tim Raines. Raines a tough target at the plate. Batting out of a crouch. Now the 3-2 pitch. Just missed, ball 4. Well, we'll know in a moment. The tying run is on, and we pause for station identification on the New York Mets Baseball Network.
It's 3:35 on News Radio 1460 WWCN Albany.
Batting for second baseman, Ryan Russell. Number 45, Mike Fuentes.
Bob Murphy with Steve Lamar. Ninth inning at Shea, the tying run. Tim Raines is now on base. Mike Fuentes, who hit 30 home runs at Wichita, is the pinch hitter. He's a right-hand power hitter. Here's the pitch on the way. A strike call on the outside corner. Frank Howard noting the lineup change on his lineup card. Back to the dugout wall. Throw to first, not in time. Mike Fuentes hit .299, 30 homers and 91 RBIs in the American Association AAA ball. Now the pitch. Foul tip, no play. Carlos Diaz with a 2-strike count. You know who's on deck? Andre Dawson. 5-4 New York, ninth inning. This entire ball game has been played in the rain and the fog. It's been peppering down pretty good for the last 4 innings. Umpires will have a decision to make when this game is over as to whether or not they can get the second game in. That'll be Ed Vargo's decision. Diaz is set. The 2-strike delivery had him tied up, but it broke inside and low. Good defensive effort on the part of Junior Ortiz. That could very easily have been a wild pitch. Raines has not been trying to go. Awful, very hazardous to try and steal a base here. You can certainly slip and fall on your way over. We saw that happen to Danny Heap when he came wheeling around third. Tried to stop quickly. There's no way you can do it. Carlos will throw to first. Raines getting back. Tim Raines, the league leader, 86 stolen bases. Raines building his lead. He's not going. Strike 3 call. The pinch hitter, Mike Fuentes, called out. Boy, he had to be looking for a breaking ball. He got a fastball. Looked like it was knee-high and right over the plate. 2 men away now in the ninth. Third strikeout for Carlos Diaz. Carlos has faced 8 batters since coming out of the bullpen and retired 7 of the 8. And here's the big moment. The hitter is Andre Dawson. Andre with a rare 0 for 4 in this ball game, batting an even .300. 32 homers, 112 RBIs. Throw to first, not in time. Carlos will be keeping a closer eye here on Tim Raines. In this situation, he might try to do it. Through to first. Not in time. Raines is the tying run on first. 2 down in the 9th inning. Now Diaz into pitching position. 3rd time in a row, throws to first. Tim Raines, a very tough guy to throw out. He has been thrown out only 14 times all year. Now the pitch. Swing and a foul tip, strike 1. This game was a little late in starting due to the bad weather. Got underway, I believe, about 1:20. Actually, it's been played in pretty fast time. Carlos Diaz trying to save this one for Brent Gaff and the New York Mets. Excellent year for Carlos. QB Brooks playing the line behind the bag at third. Here's the pitch on the way. Fly ball to hit the right field. It's deep. Back goes Danny Heap to the warning track. Makes the catch. The game is over. It's all over as Danny Heap makes the catch. And I believe they'll try and get the second game in. We've got our eye on Ed Vargo. And he says, we'll try and play it. So the Mets win the opener. Nice catch by Danny Heap. He goes way back to the warning track to haul that one in. Ed Vargo just gave Vern Rapp the starting time for the second game, and we'll get that before we sign off the opening ball game. In the 9th inning, no runs, no hits, and a man left. Back with a recap in just a moment. Final score in the first game, New York 5, Montreal 4.
What would happen if the water in your home came on only 3 hours a day? Or if you turned on your light switch and nothing happened? Or if the fire department was only available some of the time? At Satellite News Channel, we believe the news is an equally vital service. It's too important to be there only part of the time. That's why Satellite News Channel is the non-stop news machine, a breakthrough idea that's only possible on cable TV. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you can tune in anytime for a complete, freshly updated news report in only 18 minutes, which means you'll be filled in, not tired out. What makes all that possible are the non-stop people who power the non-stop news machine, the largest news-gathering organization in American television. Your world doesn't stop. And now the news doesn't stop on Satellite News Channel, the non-stop news machine. Give us 18 minutes. We'll give you the world.
To add non-stop news to your TV, call Capital Cablevision at 489-2951. Cole Auto Supply knows that hoses, coolants, belts, and brakes are very susceptible to hot weather damage. That's why Cole Auto Supply is stocked up on those parts to help make your summer driving hassle-free. So if you're looking for auto parts for your foreign car or your domestic car, Cole Auto Supply has the answer. Cole Auto Supply at 2 convenient locations, 2953 Hamburg Street, Schenectady, and 492 Albany Shaker Road, Loudonville. Cole Auto Supply, proudly serving the Capital District for over 15 years.
It's 68 degrees in the Capital District. You're listening to News Radio 1460.
It's 5-4 for the happy recap. Steve Lamar.
Big first inning for the New York Mets. They scored 4 times off Bill Gullickson, who was working on a 6-game winning streak, and he had won 10 of his last 11. Wilson and Brooks started it with back-to-back doubles to get a run in. Darryl Strawberry was hit by a pitch, and he left the game after that first inning. 2 men were on with nobody out and a run in, and George Foster hit a line drive home run over the left field wall, his 28th of the year. The Mets were off to a 4-0 lead. They added a run in the 3rd inning on a base hit by Brian Giles. At that point, they had a 5-1 lead. The Expos came back, though. They had a run in the 5th. Ryan Little doubled to drive it home. They had a 2 in the 7th. Little with another double for an RBI, and Jim Wolford with a sacrifice fly as a pinch batter to drive in another one. It was 5-4. Brent Gapp pitched 5 1/3 innings in that ball game. Diaz came on to work the last 2 2/3, and he shut down the Expos to save it. So the Mets win it by the score of 5-4, and we'll be back from Shea Stadium in 1 minute.
If you're
you're doing business in New York City, you should know more about New York's best-kept travel secret, Newark International Airport. Newark Airport is uncongested and close to both Midtown Manhattan and New York's financial district. And transportation to New York City is surprisingly inexpensive with many sources of public transit. Only Mall Airways offers business travelers 4 flights Monday through Friday to convenient Newark Airport. Mall Airways is the only scheduled air carrier to Newark Airport based right here in Albany. Mall offers you friendly, hassle-free service with flight times that are tailored to your business schedule. If you're doing business in Staten Island or Brooklyn, you can avoid congested highways and airports by flying Mall Airways to Newark. Finally, if business takes you to the south or west, you'll love the convenient, hassle-free connections at Newark Airport. Mall Airways will whisk you to Newark, where you avoid the crowded terminals in LaGuardia and the terminal runaround at Kennedy Airport. So next time you have business in New Jersey, Manhattan, Brooklyn, or Staten Island, fly Mall Airways to close by Newark Airport and learn why Newark Airport is New York's best-kept travel secret. For more information, call Mall Airways at 869-2218 or call your travel agent. With fall on the way, it means cooler nights, shorter days, and harder starts for your car. The Battery Mart at 650 River Street in Troy has the answer. They're loaded with money-saving discount prices on hundreds of auto parts. Save on starters, alternators, clutches, fuel pumps, and, of course, batteries. Stock up now on antifreeze at only $2.99 per gallon or 24 quarts of Prize Pen 10W40 motor oil at an incredible $20.95. That's 24 quarts for $20.95. Don't miss the fantastic sale prices at the Battery Mart, your complete discount auto parts center, 650 River Street in Troy, just a couple of blocks north of the Collar City Bridge. Open 7 days a week. For a price quote, call 273-7779. That's 273-7779. The Battery Mart. Batteries and much, much more.
It's 68 degrees in the Capital District.
The end of the first game, the Mets 5 and the Expos 4. We'll be returning with our coverage of the second game of the doubleheader at 4 p.m., 15 minutes from now. New York Mets Baseball is a production of WWCN in conjunction with the New York Mets. Our producer-engineer, Ken Kephart. Our statistician, Lorraine Hamilton. The technical director is Herb Squire. The executive producer is Carol McGuire. New York Mets Baseball has been brought to you by Getty Unleaded Plus. The proof is at the pump. By Budweiser, the king of beers. Reach for that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you. By TWA with a big roomy ambassador class business section. Now available on every wide body everywhere TWA flies. By Nissan, builders of high mileage, high quality cars and trucks for 50 years. Available at your Datsun dealer. By Flying Tigers Air Cargo, it's on time or it's on us. By MCI, the nation's long-distance phone company. You haven't been talking too much, just spending too much. By Channel Home Centers, think Channel. You'll find what you need and you'll find it for less. By your 5 Borough and New Jersey Buick dealers. If you price a Buick, you'll buy a Buick. By Belmont Park, home of the Jockey Club Gold Cup Saturday, October 15th, and the New York Mets.
Cole Auto Supply knows that hoses, coolants, belts, and brakes are very susceptible to hot weather damage. That's why Cole Auto Supply is stocked up on those parts to help make your summer driving hassle-free. So if you're looking for auto parts for your foreign car or your domestic car, Cole Auto Supply has the answer. Cole Auto Supply at 2 convenient locations, 2953 Hamburg Street, Schenectady, and 492 Albany Shaker Road, Loudonville. Cole Auto Supply, proudly serving the Capital District for over 15 years. At Sawyer Sporting Goods in Clifton Park, we're footing the bill so you'll save more. Back to school can be enjoyable when you save on quality footwear at Sawyer's. Buy children's shoes such as Nike Scouts, regularly $19, now only $15. Or the traditional high canvas shoe by Nike is only $15. For the football and soccer athlete, there's the popular Nike Turf King for $14. You'll never save more on Nike footwear than now. At Sawyer Sporting Goods, exit 9 off the Northway on Route 146 in Clifton Park.
You're listening to News Radio 1460. It's 68 degrees in the Capital District. This afternoon, cloudy with a 40% chance of light showers or drizzle. The highs in the mid-60s and light south winds. Tonight, cloudy with 40% chance of showers. The low in the 50s, light south winds as well. And on Sunday, sunny intervals when mild with the highs 70 to 75. We now join CNN News.
We catch up on the latest sports action now with this report.
This is Dave Douglas, CNN Sports. The Los Angeles Dodgers are champions of the National League West. The Dodgers wrapped up their 4th division title in 7 years by beating the Giants 4-3 last night at Dodger Stadium. Actually, the title belonged to Los Angeles before the end of that game because the Braves had already lost to San Diego 3-2 earlier in the evening, a loss that eliminated Atlanta from contention and clinched it for the Dodgers. In baseball action this afternoon in the National League, doubleheader between the Expos and Mets. Game 1 in the 7th inning, and the Mets lead Montreal 5-2. 5th inning, Houston trailing Cincinnati 5-4. The Cardinals 2, the Cubs nothing in the 4th. Coming up later today, San Francisco at Los Angeles, Pittsburgh at Philadelphia, Atlanta at San Diego. Over in the American League, Toronto leads Minnesota 4-3 in the 6th. Cleveland and Boston scoreless first inning. In the 2nd, Milwaukee on top of Detroit 3-0. Later today, New York will be at Baltimore. Doubleheader between the Royals and A's. Game 1 in the 2nd inning. It is scoreless. California will be at Texas later today. On to college football. Top-ranked Nebraska leading Syracuse 14-0 in the first period. Rice will be at number 2 Texas later today. Arizona and California just underway, no score. Georgia Tech leads North Carolina 21-7 in the 2nd period. It's Illinois leading Iowa 17-0 in the first. Alabama and Memphis State scoreless first period. 4th period, West Virginia leads Pitt 24-21. In the 2nd period, it's Ohio State 21, Minnesota 10. First period, Kansas State leads Oklahoma 7-0. Florida State and Auburn 7 apiece opening quarter. In halftime now, Georgia leading Mississippi State 17-0. Florida will be at LSU tonight. Texas Arlington at SMU later on today. Miami of Florida and Duke scoreless first period. Later today, Navy will be at Washington. 3rd period, it's Maryland leading Virginia 10-0. Stanford will be at Arizona State later. 2nd period, Boston College 7, Temple 0. BYU at UCLA later on today. Michigan leads Indiana 7-0 in the 2nd. That's it, Dave Douglas, CNN Sports.